Okay, I'll have to find myself though.
Oh. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are none? Hello.
Okay.
Oh. Now I just want to play with it.
Where is my skeeps? Where is my skeeps? Where is my skeeps?
What's up?
Okay. I should be, but I can't find my...
What?
I nominito.
Phenomena. Phenomena. Nominee
Nominito.
Got my number. Nominee Dole. I'm Bob Dole. Bob Dole. Oh.
Oh, I don't go.
Oh my God, Joe Blow.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh my God, Joe Blow up. Why?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Whoa, 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 who is this? How did you get here, God? Oh my God. This is not what I'm saying. No one would say, no shit.
There. Okay, now they should see it, because I think they were seeing my head.
What are you doing? Stop playing with my peanut butter spoon.
There is that way. Was my
That is that one was my Peterson. Oh my God. That
Dude,
was
that
my
one
Peters,
he
my
was-
God. Oh my God.
No.
Stop you eating. Oh, you're playing with one of the
It
dead.
was not me.
Oh, ow!
What?
Let me. Oh.
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 Oh, we're killing each other here.
Oh. Lower killing each other here.
Hello, I kill it. It doesn't work.
Like,
This is a conversation we're not even having. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh, I want to invite the others, but I don't know if they'll stay.
I don't know who all you plan on inviting.
Oh, I was gonna bring in Sirius.
Yeah, actually do that. Let's see if it'll work.
Yeah, let's see.
If not, well then it was fun while it lasted. But hopefully it works. Cross your fingers.
Okay. Share screen, send contact. That's not what I want. I want to add somebody to the fucking car. How did I do that?
Okay, but she's something. I don't know. How do I do it? How do I do that?
That's not even what I said.
That's not even why I said.
Oh my goodness gracious, dingle dong dong. That's not what I said.
Gracious will come down. Okay.
Oh, why will this not work?
I'd add him myself, but like I said, he didn't want to be in my. I don't know.
Oh, we spent almost 20 minutes just playing with this.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how long I've actually been streaming.
Oh.
I'll have to find my thing first. I don't know where my.
Thanks for your where? Oh.
Oh, you can't trying serious is...
No, it won't let me. It won't even let me invite anybody.
That's weird. Because normally you can do that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to start a new call.
I'm afraid.
Right? Alright, I'll be back.
Oh, here's hoping. Oh my gosh. What is even?
Did we have it? Aww. It went away.
I think it did,
How do I do
yeah.
it now? Oh my god. Aww.
Oh, that's sad. Apparently it's a one-on-one thing.
Share system sounds. I can't get it to work. Oh, I can't find it now.
Let me see if I can...
Oh, and Sirius is still quiet. Damn. I ruined it! How do I do it? Oh god, I gotta find it. Let me see if I can find it. What was that? Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. How do I do it? How do I do it? Oh. I don't know. I can't find out how to do it. Oh, wait. Change language. No, I don't want to do that. Install. Install the holes. Oh, no, I still can't hear Sirius. Now I can't hear anything because this thing is all.
Actually clicked in by accident. I'm already in a chat.
Oh.
Yeah, with Mana and Kina.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't think you actually know Mana, either of you. I don't know if you do or don't, but I don't.
What?
Mana.
Oh.
I don't think I know her.
Him.
Him.
One of my siblings.
Oh. Can I do this? This is it.
Yes, he would be Kina's opposite.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, this isn't working. Why? I totally thought it was something that was like a thing now. It's not. We were having so much fun with this dictation feature, and I don't even know what the hell it was.
I don't either.
But it was so funny because it was not what we were saying. Oh. Anyway, I was going to read The Old Man, was what we were planning to do before we got distracted.
Ah.
All right. Skype translator.
Voice.
Okay, notification. All right. Oh. All right. Sorry about that. So yes, I managed to finish The Old Man this morning. Or this afternoon. And I'm going to need an opinion because I kind of think it sucks.
Okay.
Okay, just let me fix my nose here. All right. All right. Oh, ow, ow. Got the file. Gonna go all the way to the top. There's so many fucking pages.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go back to the other chat since I was there first
All right.
to listen to the story. But I was there first and
All right.
That's fine.
sorry.
Oh well.
Do you want me to stop my stream then, since it was...
Maybe it only works on a personal call. Let me see.
That's what I was wondering. Bubble. Bubble.
Ah, there it goes.
There it goes.
It's only between two people.
Apparently. So whatever this
Verily? Oh my god.
Sure.
Your underbelly's so damn hot, Mirage.
Your underbelly's so funny.
No, not Hot Rush. His name is Mirage.
But not Rush. His name...
This is the Rush.
This
Oh,
is...
Mike, shut up. Oh, Mike,
I think
shut
this is...
Ow.
I think this is gonna have to
What?
be...
Snick.
I...
I am not. What conversation is this? This is not our conversation.
At least now we know how it works.
Oh my god. Okay.
At least do you know how it works?
Now we know how to work it. It's only between two people. I don't know what
Apparently.
the hell this is, but I should hate it, but I kind of like it.
I love it, but it just... Weird
It's like I
timing.
can't concentrate on what I want to say because I'm constantly looking at what I said because it's not what I said. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coffee looking at what I said. My coffee's watching me.
Oh my gosh. I still have to find my...
Oh. Oh. What'd you do with the egg?
What'd I do with the egg?
Raj, what'd you do with the egg? Did you snort it? What's on your nose? Oh, God. Oh. Oh, man, you got dry snot up in there. Ugh. Gross. Well, we know this is totally unreliable. Oh, now I get it right.
Yep.
Perhaps we have to talk slower because it just can't hear people talking normally.
Yes.
And it was still putting the incorrect words.
There is no S on that.
Words!
There we go. There's no... I've dealt with programs like this before, so this is nothing new for me.
Joe's program was like this before? Why are there no question marks? Ah, there's one.
I guess because they didn't think you asked a question before? Apparently that wasn't a question.
Mayhaps. Oh, no, that's not what I said. No, it is not what I said.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. No, I know what
It's not what I said.
It's not what. I'm not even sure if
I
anybody...
need more lemon pledge.
No, I did more lemon.
That sounds like a drug. Hey, pass me the lemon pledge. Oh, yeah.
What the drug is?
Oh, my nose hurts. Oh. Words, hello. Oh my god. So badly.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Damn you, autocorrect.
Did you want to? Apparently laughing is swearing because you laughed and it censors you?
It's because I'm an atheist, isn't it?
My ears say.
What? No.
This is no. Oh, okay. Well, that's a thing.
Yeah. Okay, what? Oh my
This is
God.
no okay, Watson. Okay then.
Oh, this is no okay. Wanted to give it up. This is not okay. Want to give up.
Oh.
Well, hello to you too. Do we know what?
Hello, do you know? I don't.
No, I don't know
Do we
why.
know why? I don't. Oh.
This is a thing. This is Dee Dee. This is doing nothing. Is this guy, he doesn't, then I op. This is hilarious.
I love.
This is the guy is. Oh my God, this guy is. Oh, wow.
I was trying to think.
This guy is. My God.
God.
On my own.
Can you think? Yeah, I can usually. Can you see you? Can you see you? When I look in the mirror, I can see me. Yeah.
Where I can see video? I can't see video. Yeah, you said I conceived.
I can't see video. You said I conceived.
You got send? I mean, you got mail.
I mean, you got Bell.
No, not Bell.
Oh, what is this? I don't know.
It's so hard to move on past this.
Oh.
I can't get beyond it. You did your dad? No, move on. Ask, did your dad? Did that just say jizz?
I don't know.
No.
No,
I did not say, my God.
Well, you got that wrong, right? You got that wrong.
Wrong, right? Left.
I don't know.
I said left. No, not glass.
Left.
Left, right. Left, right.
Where?
Thank you.
Left.
And why was that a question?
I don't know.
800. 1-800-99 Jenny.
Why 800? 899.
Hi, honey bread. Oh, it hurt.
Hi, honey.
I don't know why 808. Is this Agent 99?
Is it not? I just.
Oh, you shut up. I just said, my God. Okay, Jack.
Why did you shut up? I didn't. Okay. What did you? What did you? Okay.
I don't even know what conversation we're having.
No.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like I'm talking to Cleverbot.
Oh. Oh yeah, it gets Cleverbot, right? Yeah, just clutter. Right?
Right. Oh, now you get right.
How you get right? How are you, Jeff?
I'm not Jeff, but I'm
I know Jeff. No, yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes or no?
Oh, yes, no.
No, yes or no?
Yes, no?
Ah.
No, yes, or no?
No, yes, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes.
No, yes.
Do you know yes? Yes, I know yes.
Yes, but do you know no?
Yes, but do know.
Yes, but do no.
Oh, do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Oh, do you know the Muffin Man that lives in every day?
What? How
I
do
don't
you
think
know
any of
nothing
that is
but about
correct.
what is?
How do you do nothing? Oh, I just sit here and, not do anything to acknowledge I exist. That's how you do nothing.
To acknowledge I exit. That's how. Oh, that's how you do nothing. You don't.
Hey,
You don't acknowledge
all right,
exit.
we did. Makes it all you don't want to exit. Oh my God, I didn't think you'd be the sexual type.
I'm not.
I didn't think you'd be the sexual side. Oh my God. Maybe the sexual side, my God. Video sexual side of my God. This is the God of sex and drugs and rock and roll. Oh, you get that right, huh?
I guess I doubt the bird.
Hurty birdie.
Yes, that helped me. Good. Hi, birdie.
Hurdy, firski, la 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 la.
Like you were first. Love.
What? Google it. No, there is no logo. Oh.
There is no.
Disco pogo, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Just so pogo.
Hey, you didn't get my ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Just hope over it. See?
I think it's telling me to go away. And you're over it. Oh my God, why?
I love this thing. I wanted to focus on the books and the series,
Yes,
but
this is the
no.
toy we did not know we needed.
No.
Now I'm afraid to read because I want to read, but I want to see what I got. But at the same time, it's like I can't read both at the same time.
Well, I think I'm streaming still. So you can always read it later. I mean, you can read what you read.
Okay, so I guess since you're streaming, we better explain what the fuck is going on.
I'm pretty sure I'm still streaming. Yeah. Dad, that.
This is, yeah, that. That didn't help. That is that you did help. Oh, this is that you did help. Sorry, I misread the conversation that I'm not having.
Oh, you got that part right.
All right. For anyone trying to watch this, apparently when you one-on-one Skype, they have this dictation feature that tries to do like closed caption of what you're saying. But it's really bad.
I'm not even sure how much of the last part of that you got right, but yeah, that part they got. Basically, for anyone who's ever done voice dictation programs like I forgot what it's called, like Speech Dragon or something. I forgot.
Yeah, like I think it was Speak Dragon.
Yeah, I've worked with that program, and that program pretty much does this. You have
or
to
when
be
you trust YouTube to close caption your videos for you.
Sure, that too. So yeah, anyone who's ever worked with Speak Dragon or any other voice, voice to text dictation, they should be familiar with how much fun this can be.
This is awful.
Except in this case, it actually is legitimately fun. That, or if anybody's ever,
it actually is legitimately fun. Dad or anybody.
that, or if anybody's ever worked with Cleverbot.
Oh yeah, and you can't fucking swear. Right? Yeah.
I
you can't fucking swear.
Right, I swear. You can't swear. Yeah.
Hi, honey. I don't know. I am starving. I am too. What do we eat? I don't know. Mirage, can I eat you?
Whoa! Okay. Something happened. Hang on. What the heck?
Well, that didn't work out. Hey! Oh, there it is.
What the heck happened? Did your cat turn you off?
Yeah, there it is. Well, I went to pick on Mirage, and then he decided that he was going to be a shit, and he turned over and pulled a wire out, so it disconnected me. And, well, that's what I get for trying to eat my cat. Oh, yeah, got trying to eat my cat right. What? Why not cook that chicken in the freezer door?
Why that chicken in the freezer?
Pull a pan out from the little bucket by the closet. Because those are clean.
Polecat?
On what do you mean, on what? The stove's not done. Oh, right. No, I'm not gonna pull here. Oh my God, Janet. Oh, your name's John now. Yeah, thanks, John. You're John now.
Sure. Okay.
You're John now.
Okay then. I've been called a boy before, so it's nothing new.
I have no clue what we can eat. I have no damn clue, and it is now after midnight, so there is no way to get food.
And it does not after midnight.
Yeah, we are in the middle of cleaning, so the stove doesn't have any burners on it.
We are no clean. It still doesn't have.
We are too clean. We spent the whole last week cleaning. Why do you make me sound like a slum person? Why do babies sound like us? Oh, God. Why do babies sound like us? Why are you not picking up this guy in the background? Come
Why you don't pick up pick up this?
You know, I sound like you know, like one of those Mexicans that only know like 3 phrases in English.
You have any idea, Sheree?
Should you? What are we trying to do like a one-word story here? We're gonna triangulate, right?
Broke up triangular right now.
Oh, you want me to clean the air fryer?
No woman
Like,
in her
No
prime.
woman in her prime? Where the hell did that even come from? No voice to cry. Okay. Stop writing song lyrics.
Why we're not even come from.
Okay, stop
No
Christ
voice.
on March. I guess I gotta clean out the bottom of the air fryer so he can make chicken. Huh? Well, I don't want to cook. Not yet.
Oh, 1 o'clock. Okay.
I guess we'll just have to eat ramen. There's pudding.
There's one.
Hey, I had buttered bread for lunch.
Yeah, like that's lunch. That's not a good lunch.
There's one. Okay. That didn't make things awkward.
Okay, waiting, Doc. Yeah.
Well, you missed the last one I had.
Is the last one here? No, I need more lemon pledge. Oh, I got it right that time.
Yay!
I didn't swear.
Did think you did?
I did not.
I didn't say you did.
You
I
said that. You said that I got yeah.
God, you said God didn't go.
That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
I
why? Why? Hi.
like ow. Ow. Ow.
Play out what?
I hurt my elbow. I said ow.
Ow.
That is not what I said.
Ouch. Man, this thing just knows when not to put ouch.
Mom, this thing knows when.
Oh my gosh. Ow. Well, hi, Linda.
At least I'm not a boy now.
Right, you're no longer John, you're Linda. Oh, you got a boy
At
bell?
least
That's girl bell. Maybe we can hook them up and make little bells. What the fuck does that even say?
Wait, girl, did we can you come little bells and then
This weekend, you close the booth. You close the lid both.
you dozed the lid.
Oh dear lordy. Oh, you get lordy right? That's my question. How you get lordy right? You're not.
How you get morning right?
Is that rain that I hear? Dear God, it's pouring. Sounds like it. Maybe it's the air conditioner I hear.
Where is your mission done?
Take me to your leader. Now, where is your English not working? Apparently on this program. Oh.
Put on this program.
Oh, wowie.
No, oh wowie.
Wowzers!
Wow 0 hours.
Below zero. How rosy. Below 0 hours. Hello, Rosie. You are now John Linda Rosie.
Oh.
Hello to you too.
Hello, do you do? I don't know. John Lennon.
You don't know.
You know what? No. He's having his own conversation.
No, you don't
So-
say shit. You.
Top? Okay.
Loving you is easy cause
I love it.
you're
You do this,
beautiful.
guy.
You're
Yes, I know I mean. What? No. But buttons?
no burp, God. But no God. But buttons. Like butt buttons. Or like, oh, it's a butt button. You know, it keeps my crack from flying open. Oh, jeez, I can't complain. Oh, this is totally not what I wanted to call you for.
Oh, no. I actually had my own questions and stuff involving the revenants, and so yeah, this was not one I had planned.
Oh, well, what questions do you have, or should I read first?
No, now I can't even focus. Not what I said, but that's true too.
No, I said that's true too. Oh my goodness. What is life?
Okay.
Not
Hang on.
blue. What is life?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Baby, don't hurt me.
No
Don't
more.
hurt me. No. Whoa! Did it on her baby? No. No.
Don't hurt me. Oh no.
I don't need a movie. Yeah, we don't need a movie of someone doing it on the baby. That's wrong.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Where did you go? Where did you go, my lovely? Yeah.
I feel more like what's his George or whatever the one freaking vulture.
Well, still got forks now.
Where did he go? Where did he go?
True.
Where did your words tickle?
Where did your words?
Oh, you missed the last one. It asked me where did your words tickle?
Ow.
My main thing was because I was going to start working on one of my own side stories, like the shorter ones. I was actually going to start working on the one involving Ashley and Emily, but
What?
but I wasn't sure when the see, I can't focus. I wasn't sure.
We're too busy looking at the words.
I'm not, but my brain was like, okay, you have to read it. Like, no, I need to focus on when the Revenant comes, when the Reaper comes to collect them, and basically change them into Revenants so that Ashley can get revenge for what happened. Do they can focus? Does Reaper have to take them anywhere, or does he or she do that where they are? Like, I'm not saying for like fancy
They can do it where they are. They usually do it where it's not the center of attention. Like they try to make it like a private affair, so it's like if they die in the afternoon, then maybe in the evening the Reaper would come to collect and so forth.
Right.
And then something like that. So it's something that just it can be at the discretion of the Reaper.
Yeah, it's like I know they don't have to always take them to their leader since it's not a the higher ranks or anything. It was just a standard.
Yeah.
I want to be alive to do this thing, kind of thing.
Right, and the Reaper gets to decide if it's appropriate. And some don't care, it's like, yeah, well, whatever. And others are a little bit more restricted about when they agree to give someone revenancy. They actually do cover that in The Old Man.
Well, that's an interesting timing for that question then.
Right.
The other thing is I can't think of any titles.
Oh my god, it's so damn hot here. Apparently, my avatar thinks that you are hot.
Okay then. I think mine said something along those lines involving you at some point because it said something weird, but I forgot what it was.
Oh my god, our avatars are lesbians. Oh yeah, I got that right.
Oh yeah, I got that right. Okay then.
Okay. Apparently, our cyber selves are cyber lesbians.
Our cyber selves.
Okay. She's Shri. Shri always smells good for some reason. She always smells like a powder poof. Or the perfume of an old woman.
Perfume little comment.
She has a weird expression on her face. I just think it's funny that she thinks that in order for me to pet and love on her, she has to have Gandalf on her. I have no idea what story my avatar just said, but
I'll have to go back and read them
read
later.
it.
I'll have to read them later because I don't even. When they're long sentences like that, I don't usually get to read all of it.
Right. Ritzy girl!
Do you wish no?
Oh shit. Oh, okay, I'm still here.
No. No, you're here.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Potatoes?
No! Don't drop me!
Oh, quick way. A quick way. No, don't. No, don't, Johnny.
Oh,
Oh, you're Johnny now. Good.
Well,
Good.
that's
Well,
shorter.
you were John before.
Oh, yeah. You Johnny, thou good. You got well. We were John before. What?
Fritzy. Fritz.
Your cat is now called Let's See.
Fritz.
Room.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's
Hello,
not
pretty
what.
girl.
Well, you got pretty girl. Mm.
Fritzy girl.
Sexy girl.
Apparently, Brits is a sexy girl now. Apparently, Brits is. What?
Oh, why don't but
Why is this?
why is this might not picking up Chris? I don't know. I don't know why the might isn't picking up Chris. Maybe he's not close enough to it. Because it's picking him up to the point where I can hear him in the background, but he's not close enough for the
Oh,
thing.
what do you use microwaving? Oh, what kind of soup?
What do you microwave? Okay.
Microwavable soup? What flavor?
Pick super. This is
You're
what.
being an asshole on purpose.
It's just soup. There's no flavor. It's just regular old soup.
Filled words with radio.
These are wise words. You'll find words on the radio. Thank you for such wisdom, hun.
I'm not telling you because you're not telling me.
Are you stealing my tomato soup?
Yes.
Oh.
You sued so you can. I'm gonna have to go get my water bottle filled with water because my throat is getting dry from all this insanity.
I know. I have to wait for my soda to get cool. I have it in the freezer.
No, I have it. Wait for it. Didn't get cool. I have it in the freezer.
Gandalf!
Yes, no. Yes, no. Okay.
My boys are so cute. My little Gandalf and my little Mirage.
My boys there said she my little common cannon dog in my little rush. I what?
Say what? You can indulge in what looks like your work. Thank you for
You
allowing
didn't
me
tell
to
you.
indulge in what is my work.
Thank you for allowing me to indulge. Yep. Okay. Okay. I will be right back.
Okay.
This is.
Another girl. What you looking at, baby? Do you see Marilyn? Do you see Marilyn? Ugh. Oh, my luck will pick up a ghost EVP or something. Hey, Marilyn. Hello. You want to come out, baby? You want to come out again? I can't get you out. Fritzy's sitting on the thingy. I love you.
stuff it up in the hide. Could you move for a minute, baby girl? My fat cat, little sweetie. Thank you. I want to pick up my girl. Come here, Merlin. Merlin, come here. Come here. Come here, you little shit. Come here. Come here. Come here. She made the words. Good girl. You need to get that weight back on. Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl? Good darling.
Good morning.
Apparently, it can't understand Merlin. Oh, now
Apparently it can when it wants to.
per week and when it wants to.
Okay. Alright then.
You're a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl. English, please.
English
You're a
plus
pretty
girl. You know that?
Well, alright, I guess they found out that I'm not really an American citizen.
I get well, William. Will in America this thing. I hope this is turning out okay on screen.
Oh, dear lordy, lordy. Alright, I have Merlin under the cover so she can stay warm.
I have my word cover so she can stay warm.
Alrighty then.
You have your word cover. Can you check the chat thing? I don't know if this is even, because I can't even find myself.
Hold on. Ah, your kisses are cold. She's like rubbing up against my leg.
Let's
Lion
see.
Forge
No.
ending.
Weird. Why not for nothing?
Let's see. Stop it! Trying to get to my thing here. Alright.
See, I hear it this way.
Huh.
I tell you what I mean. You'll want something.
Oh,
I ain't making no
okay.
more.
Tomato soup, right?
No.
No? That's okay. I'll probably make some ramen or something. Oh, there you are. Why is it not going to your channel?
I do not know.
Oh, there it goes. Maybe. Why is it not going? I want to go to your channel. There it goes. And it
I
says
found
you
it.
are live now.
Yay!
Yay!
Just waiting for this thing. I found it too. Yay! I found it.
Yay!
J. Yes.
Yay!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Very.
Yay!
Yay. Okay.
Alrighty then. So should I just start over from the beginning?
Alrighty, bad. I don't know. Wait, from where? From the story?
Yeah, should I start again from the beginning or should I?
If you want to, it's up to you. I just want to make sure this is even.
Yeah, I think it is.
This is spinning for me. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, for anyone watching this, not only do you get to see funny dictation bullshit, but you get to hear the first draft of a book I will be publishing, a story I'll be publishing this week.
Yay!
And it's called The Old Man, and it's part of my series, The Revenants of Embry. And apparently dictation has no clue what I'm saying. So basically I'm going to read this starting from the beginning, and y'all get to see what crazy shit the dictation does. But yeah, this is just the first draft, and by this weekend it should be available for publication and sale.
Right.
Alrighty.
This should be interesting.
What?
I said this should be interesting.
It's good. It smells so good. The clouds were thick and dark. It made for a horribly gloomy day of a cool chill and heavy rain. Thunder rolled at regular intervals, as if to remind the world below of the turmoil up in the atmosphere. Winifred stared out the foggy window. It was warm and dry indoors, though she didn't seem all that happy. Then again, a child of her age had only one focus. She could not play outside. Every few minutes she'd wipe the fog from the glass, only to let out another long and miserable sigh at the unchanging sights out there. She wrung a clump of her long shirt anxiously. This was the most horrible thing she could imagine for the day. How long had it been? It was hard to properly feel the passage of time at moments like this. Charlie, Winifred's older brother, had been watching her from where he sat on the carpet before the fireplace. He put down the mug he had been drinking from and pushed himself onto his feet, only to flop on his knees on the couch. He leaned over the back and stared at his sister as she did the same. Are you going to do this all day? You're missing all the time you can play with your toys. Shut up, Charlie, she sighed. It didn't seem to bother him. I really wanted to go to the playground today. Now I can't. I don't want to be stuck inside. Well, you've been stuck inside all morning already, Winifred. You can stay miserable or not waste it by playing inside. What do you know? She huffed. That annoyed Charlie a little bit. Then again, he was no better at her age. Granted, he was only about 4 years older than her. He wasn't exactly a saint. Do you think I could still at least play in the yard? Winifred asked. You'd get wet, he replied. I got a raincoat and rain boots, she suggested. I don't think so, he shrugged. Mom would get mad. This led to another huff from his sister. What if it never stops raining? What if the water gets higher and we all drown and float away? That was ridiculous, and Charlie couldn't help but laugh, both with a snarky expression, but also genuine amusement. I think you're letting your imagination run away with you. It's floating away with me, she remarked creatively. This caused a more genuine laugh to burst forth from him. She may have been young, but she had a sense of wit about her. It will stop, he assured. It sucks right now, but it will stop. It can't rain forever. You know this. This isn't your first rainstorm. It was a partially cloudy afternoon. The scent in the air was crisp as autumn prepared to set in over the area of Cedar Falls and beyond. It was warm enough. It was cool enough. There were no regrets walking home. Charlie let out a relieved sigh as he stepped out of the school building. He hurried to the schoolyard where... sorry. He hurried to the schoolyard where the fields, blacktop courts, and other play areas were located. It was quite busy. It was good weather for playing outside. He was rather tempted to join a few of his classmates in the blacktop court. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw some younger girls on another paved area. A few were playing jacks in the corner of the area. Another girl jump roped by herself. And a small group played hopscotch on the squares that had been chalked. Winifred was among this particular group of girls. Charlie approached carefully. On the one hand, it was rather embarrassing to hang out with these young girls, or to be seen about their girly games. On the other hand, he had to retrieve Winifred. "Are you almost ready?" he asked. This got the attention from the group. "It's my turn," Winifred remarked as she held the stone in her hand. "Hurry up," he urged gently. "Mom wants us home." "I don't have any homework today," Winifred stated matter-of-factly, and gave the stone a gentle toss. "I do," Charlie retorted. "Then go," she insisted as she hopped from square to square. "Come on, Winifred. You know you're not allowed to walk by yourself." Winifred stomped her foot and let out an annoyed growl. "If you wanted to stay, I couldn't force you to go." "Yeah, but I have homework, and I can walk all over town by myself. I'd get in trouble if I came home late. Do you want to get in trouble? It's fall festival season. Do you really want to be grounded now?" She glanced back and forth towards the chalk squares and her brother before letting out a heavy, but less aggressive sigh. She looked rather deflated in her defeat. "No, I got bigger this year. I might be able to go on more rides now." "Exactly," he said with a nod. That seemed to be the end of it. Winifred handed the stone to one of her friends and motioned her farewell. She picked up her backpack and scurried to Charlie's side. After several minutes, he forced a smile and gently bumped against her. "Hey, cheer up. Hopscotch is nothing compared to games, rides, fair food, and prizes." "Yeah, I guess so," she agreed. "Will you help me get some of the big, cute prizes? You're better at some of those games." "We'll see," he said. "Maybe I'll have to train you to play those games yourself." "I know how to throw darts and balls, Charlie," she insisted. But I have trouble getting comfortable over the booth. Besides, Mom and Dad said I wasn't allowed to shoot the BB guns, so I can't play that game." "Well, we'll see how big you got, okay?" he offered. "If you're still too small, I'll help you. But if you're big enough, you can give it a try for yourself. As for the shooting games, I suppose for the prize you won, I can win it for you. I'm real good at shooting the BB guns." "When can I get good at shooting them?" Winifred asked. "Poof," Charlie scoffed. "Girls don't shoot guns. That's a boy thing. You'll be really good at cooking and dressing up pretty. Leave the guns to the guys." Winifred simply rolled her eyes. She wasn't sure how much energy she wanted to invest in this argument. It wasn't the first time, and it wouldn't be the last time. She believed girls could be just as good as boys in many things. However, it seemed her father and brother, along with a lot of other guys, seemed to feel otherwise. Heck, even some of the other girls felt otherwise too. So instead of arguing, she quickly grew a smile and bumped back into him. "Hey, race you home. I bet I can beat you." "Oh, please," Charlie laughed. My legs are longer. My lungs are bigger. I'd wipe the floor with you. Says you, she laughed. She began an awkward run as she taunted him. Winifred, wait, he shouted. She certainly got a bit of a head start on him. He began to sprint. Winifred, don't slip in the puddles. She paid him no heed. She merely laughed as she turned a corner. I'm going to beat you, Charlie. A moment later, she stumbled. A combination of a crack and a dip in the sidewalk and her poor judgment in not watching where she was going led to the inevitable, or so she thought. She let out a cry as she spun her... Sorry about that. My mouth is kind of tight.
It's okay.
She let out a cry as she spun her head forward and held out her hands to break her eventual fall. She felt a sudden collision and yank. The puddle was replaced by blackness. The next moment, she found herself held up. Sorry. I knew I had a mistake somewhere.
This is why you read.
This is why I do this, yes. The next moment, she found herself held up by a large body. She was pulled over the puddle and placed carefully on her feet. Be careful, my dear, his voice cooed at her. You don't want to sully your pretty clothes or hurt yourself. Winifred peered up into his face. She couldn't find her voice. She wanted to speak, but her insides felt paralyzed, frozen, and unable to do as she wished. Winifred, I told you to slow. Charlie slowed to a stop as he approached and stared unwittingly at the man's face. He felt a chill go down his back. He was a tall and skinny man. His face was white. His cheeks were sunken in, and his eyes seemed to glow from dark sockets. His hands were also very long and skinny. The majority of his head was hidden under a dark hood attached to a sweatshirt. You should be more careful, the man said to both of them. Mirage, stop it! Mirage! Mirage! Stop it! Sorry about that.
Mirage is now Rush, apparently.
Charlie began. He slowly approached and took Winifred from him. He buried herself into her brother as she found herself unable to look away. After a moment or so, the man sighed. It's rude to stare. And with that, he slid by them and began a steady jog and vanished behind the corner. There we go. After another moment of frozen silence, the siblings felt themselves able to breathe again, and the stiffness in their bodies faded away. Whoa, Charlie began. That was kind of freaky. That old man was scary, Winifred agreed. I told you not to run off, he scolded. You're lucky you didn't get hurt or wet. Mom would get mad. Humph, was her simple reply. Let's just go. Mom will get mad anyway. We're not supposed to talk to strangers. We didn't, Charlie insisted. He let out an annoyed huff and continued to walk home in silence with Winifred beside him. Merlin is tickling my feet. Merlin, what are you doing to my feet? Sorry.
Oh, this is just...
Geckos seem to love my feet. Watch yourself! My God! My gosh, what's under my feet? The crash just decided to just truck on through the bed here.
I like how you said that the geckos love your feet, and it came out saying that I just love my feet. God, watch
I
yourself.
love my feet. Look at my toes.
Baby, you go. I don't even know. Okay.
Playtime for the cats. It was a fine supper. Mom was finally able to enjoy it. By now, her serving of each dish had gone lukewarm to cold. She was always the last one to eat. As for Dad, he had certainly had his fill. Oh, okay. He had certainly had his fill and was invested in the newspaper he had wanted to read all evening. As for Charlie and Winifred, they had been rather quiet. This wasn't that strange for Charlie, but Winifred was quite the chatterbox. "Is everything okay, honey?" Mom asked as she peered over at her daughter. "Uh-huh," was her quick reply. "You hardly ate your supper." She then looked at Charlie. "You too. Are you two feeling sick?" "It's not that," Charlie shrugged. "Don't be silly," Dad laughed. He peered over his paper, exposing his glasses and bushy mustache. The glare of the dining room light reflected off his lenses. They could be dying and they'd still insist they were well enough for the carnival. "Maybe I should check your temperatures," Mom suggested. "We're not sick," Charlie insisted again. "Not sick," Winifred chimed in. "Then what is going on?" "It's probably nothing," Charlie shrugged. "We just saw some old man today." "Where?" Dad asked with suspicion. "A few streets away. Winifred and I were playing on the way home, and he sort of just appeared." "I've never seen him before." "Me neither," Winifred chimed in. Their parents looked to one another with a bit of concern on their faces. It was Dad that ultimately spoke. "What did he do?" "Well, nothing really," Charlie replied. "I tripped and he caught me," Winifred explained. "Then he just said to be careful. Then he walked away." "Is that all?" Dad asked. "That's it," Charlie assured. This seemed to bring a sense of relief over their parents. Mom went back to cutting her cold meat. "Well, then there's nothing to worry about," Dad stated. "He was creepy," Winifred muttered as she gently scraped her fork along her plate. "That's not very nice," Mom scolded. "It's not like she's saying it to his face," Charlie defended. "He was creepy." "If you haven't seen him until now, he's either new or a man that keeps to himself," Dad said. "Just stop worrying about it." He paused a moment before he continued. "Are you excited for tomorrow?" "Yeah!" the siblings cheered in unison. The man was easily and quickly forgotten now that the topic had moved specifically to the carnival. "Did you both finish your homework?" "Yes," Charlie sighed. "I finished it this afternoon." "I didn't have any homework to do," Winifred cheered. "I even helped Mom peel potatoes because I didn't have any homework to do." "Yes, you did," Mom chuckled. "Now, if you two can continue to behave, then you'll get to go to the carnival." "We'll be good," Charlie assured. Me too," Winifred chimed in. "Well, if you're finished with your plates," Mom said, "go clean them up and go wash up for bed." "It's early," Charlie frowned. "You heard your mother," Dad urged. There would be no further argument. Still, they only had to get ready for bed. There was a lot they could still do in pajamas. So, obediently, the siblings did as they had been told. Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah, like I said, my jaw's a little tight.
Do you want your stuff?
I'll take it in a bit. I'm waiting for my soda to get cold.
Okay.
The next morning, Winifred awoke earlier than normal. She was quick to zip out of bed and run from her room to the door of Charlie's bedroom. She knocked gently, too gently. "What are you doing, Merlin? Oh my God." "Hi." "Sorry." She's like rubbing on my leg. It's weird. "You silly girl, what are you doing?" "You pretty girl." "Oh, you like scratches, huh?" "Oh, scratch my back, Mommy. Scratch my back." "Oh, I love the scratchies. I love the scratchies. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love them." Sorry, I love my geckos.
Well, yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't.
You're so cute. She keeps arching her back end for me. She's like, oh, scratch my butt, scratch my butt. I love when you scratch my butt. She loves love. Obviously, it got no response. Charlie was a much heavier sleeper than that. So Winifred slowly opened the door and peeked her head in. The room was average for a boy of Charlie's age. It was a little messy. The majority of the mess and clutter consisted of clothing, a mix of clean and dirty, strewn about and in small mountains. Winifred couldn't help but to wrinkle her nose. Were all brothers so gross? Charlie, she called. She crawled onto his bed and began to harass the lump that was her brother under his covers. Charlie, get up! The carnival opens today. Ah, Charlie groaned as he tried to turn over. He couldn't turn entirely and was stuck in an awkward position. Sorry, this is why we read. I'm fixing my mistakes. He was stuck in an awkward position by his blankets due to Winifred kneeling on them. Charlie! Huh? What? He gasped as he flew into a sitting position. He smacked his head against his sister's and was quick to bring a hand to his offended area, as too did she. Ow! Ow, Charlie! Huh? Winifred, what do you want? Get up! We get to go to the carnival today! Charlie took a sharp inhale and sprang from the bed. His exuberance caused Winifred to topple over and flop upside down on the floor. She rolled over and scrambled to her feet as Charlie rushed to find clean clothes to wear for the day. After that chaos, the siblings ran downstairs with great cheers. Charlie grabbed the doorknob of the front door, only to hear the ominous throat clearing of their mother. They froze in their place and looked to the sound. Indeed, Mom had her hands placed on her hips and her foot tapping on the neutral-colored carpet. What do you two think you're doing? It's Saturday, Charlie said with a shrug. It was quite obvious after all, wasn't it? Yes, she replied with an upturn of her tone. It was as if she was waiting for the rest of the statement. The carnival is open today, Winifred concluded impatiently. You're not going to the carnival now, Mom scolded. But we were good and finished our... Sorry about that. But we were good and finished our homework, Charlie pleaded. Your homework, Winifred corrected with a mutter. Winifred, you aren't even dressed, Mom said. You can't go out in your pajamas. I'll change, she replied. That would be an easy fix. Besides, it's too early, Mom continued. You two still have your weekend chores to do. Aw, Mom, the siblings whined in unison. Don't Mom me. You know you have chores to do every weekend before you can go out to play. But that could take all day, Charlie whined. The sooner you get to work on your chores, the sooner you can go to the carnival, Mom suggested. Do you two understand? Yes, Mom, the siblings sighed. They turned around and trudged back to the stairs. Trudged back up the stairs, sorry.
Well, they could trudge to the stairs and then up them.
Right. Winifred sunk into her room to dress for the day, and Charlie returned to his room to look at the mess that he would have to tackle. This was going to be a long day. Charlie stared at his cluttered room with a sigh. He knew he had to do his chores, but he had no real idea where to even start. He picked up a random piece of clothing from the floor and took a sniff. He quickly wrinkled his nose in disgust. That one was dirty. He threw it in the hamper duly. It had been empty, despite its convenient location. As he went about his room, sniffing nearly every garment, the door creaked open and the head of his sister poked in. Charlie, could you... What are you doing? Charlie stopped and peered over towards her. I'm checking the laundry for change. Winifred crossed her arms and shook her head at him. You look like a monkey sniffing all those. Maybe if you folded the clean clothes like Mommy showed you, you'd be able to tell them apart. And I suppose I should learn to just put them away, he sighed in defeat. Let's not get too carried away, Winifred replied. Anyway, I can't find Mrs. Fluxcassuples and her 6 baby bunnies. Have you seen them? Charlie was reasonably confused, and it showed quite clearly on his face. Who? Winifred let out an annoyed huff as she rolled her eyes in frustration. Mrs. Fluxcassuples, the rabbit. It's the rabbit Granny Cora gave me for the Virgil. I keep slipping over my words. Mrs. Fluxcassuples, the rabbit Granny Cora got me for the Virgil Equinox this year. Last year, sorry. Vernal Equinox, Charlie corrected flatly. Yeah, that, she replied. And she had 6 little baby bunnies. What makes you think I saw her? Winifred looked about his room and shrugged as she delivered her witty retort. By the looks of this room, I would guess she took a vacation here to visit the dust bunnies. Shut up, Charlie spat. His cheeks grew a little rosy from the witty remark. I don't have your rabbits. This is a tragedy, Winifred declared. She dramatically threw her hands up in the air. Calm down. They have to be in the house somewhere, right? Charlie, she whined, I can't finish my room without Mrs. Fluxcassuples, Poof Butt, Lemon Tickles, Key Lime, Marshmallow Delight, Sunshine Kisses, and Clyde. Well, what's the big Clyde? It's of the utmost importance, Charlie. You have to help me find them. I promised they could sit on my bed this week. I can't finish cleaning or making the bed if I don't have them. Charlie dropped another shirt into the hamper and sighed. Well, my mess is mostly clothes. I have to make my bed and vacuum. Give me a few minutes and I'll help you find Mrs. Fluff, Skirsh, Mustache, or whatever her name is. Fluffscassuples, Winifred corrected. However, as quick as she had become angry, she smiled and ran to her brother to deliver an appreciative hug. Thanks, Charlie. You're the best brother ever. I'll wait for you. She was a weird one sometimes, that Winifred. She had a lot more imagination than Charlie remembered himself having at that age. Then again, the imaginations of little boys and girls seemed quite different in and of itself. At least, that was his experience and what he supposed. What? What? What's wrong with my cat? Huh? Oh. Give him a little boot. Oh. Cheesy potato soup? Cool. I want some. Make me some. I'm kidding.
Okay, now I want to go raid my own potato soup.
Girl is just loving all this attention.
I love potato
No,
soup.
I'm not putting the camera on.
We can do that later.
Alright. Once he was finished and his hamper had been taken to the laundry room, Charlie returned upstairs and invited himself into Winifred's bedroom. He looked around at the toys strewn about. It was astounding. He hadn't realized how much she had amassed over the years. Winifred? She was quick to hop off her made bed. It was the only thing she had completed. She hurried over to him and tugged on his shirt. Help me find them! Ugh, Winifred, he scolded as he freed himself from her grip. It looks like a tornado went through here. He picked up a plush elephant and held it out to her. Just put this one on your bed and hurry up. I want to get to the carnival. What? No, she whined and slapped his hand. She grabbed the elephant from him. Elliot got to sit on the bed last week. I promised Miss Fluffskuffle she and her babies could have the bed this week. Help me. Okay, he sighed as he tried to tame her growing frustration. What do you want me to do? Just help me look, she sighed. She went into one pile of toys and began to ruffle through them. Charlie began on the opposite side of the room. They looked everywhere. They went through Winifred's clothes, sorting through them as they went. Toys were picked up and set neatly in their work. Sorry, my eyes itch. Let me scratch them real quick.
That's okay.
Where are you going, Merlin? Come back here, you silly. Toys were picked up and set neatly in their places. Clothes were put in drawers and the hamper. The closet was reorganized. I forgot to put a period at the end of that sentence.
Yeah, this is why we read the things. Especially
This is why we do the things.
Yes. Especially reading it out loud, because it seems like if you read it out loud, you have to slow down, and then it's like, I didn't notice this. I fixed this now.
It's a lot easier, yeah. And your baby, give me kisses. Good girl. I love you. The rug was vacuumed to prevent painful kneeling, and nothing was left under the bed. Before long, Charlie flopped onto the floor and leaned back against the bed. Where was the last place you had the rabbits? No, Cherie, not there. I asked that question. She's like, no, not there.
That fit so well. It made it sound like it just randomly came out of nowhere in the story. It's like, no, Cherie. Not there. It's like, okay.
She's been a bit talkative the past week.
Well, I've noticed that the last few times we've been in a call.
Winifred tapped at her chin as she dramatically thought. She closed one eye and stuck out her tongue. Winifred! I'm thinking, she insisted. She wandered aimlessly about the room before hopping onto her bed and pulling the stuffed animals out from under her pillows. They're right here! Charlie sucked in a breath and flailed his arms about. You knew where they were the whole time? She giggled. Yeah, I did. You lied to me to get me to clean your room. I did, she replied simply. You could have just asked, Winifred. You would have said no, she sighed. She set up the rabbits on her bed and gave an exaggerated curtsy. I swear, Winifred, if you weren't my sister. Charlie paused and grew a concerned expression across his face. Charlie? What? Why do you look like that? She followed his gaze and peered out of the window. Hey, there's someone in front of our yard. I see that, he replied. He peered down at the sidewalk just beyond the lawn. Who is that? Winifred asked. I don't know, Charlie muttered. He narrowed his eyes at the figure. Do you think he can see us? Winifred asked curiously. I don't know. A moment of silence passed between them before Charlie sucked in a shocked inhale. What? Winifred gasped. That's the guy we ran into yesterday. What? Why is he here? How did he know where we lived? He may have followed us, Charlie suggested. He paused and rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Although he could just be there by coincidence. Coincidence? Winifred repeated. Yeah, Charlie confirmed. He was jogging yesterday. Maybe it just so happens he stopped right there to rest. Charlie, he's staring up at the house, she declared. He's just staring. He doesn't look tired to me. Maybe it's because our house is a pretty color, he suggested. Our house is yellow with green shutters, she grumbled. There are at least 6 houses in the neighborhood that look like that. Slowly, the siblings stepped away from the window. Charlie gave a bit of a shiver. He gives me the creeps. Maybe we should tell Mom and Dad, Winifred suggested. What are they going to do? Call the cops? Tell them to go away? Well, he hasn't done anything, and he's technically not on the property. He's just in the sidewalk, Winifred. I mean, he's creepy and all, but I don't want to be rude either. Winifred gasped and brought her hands to her face. Oh my gosh! Charlie, do you think it's because we're naughty? What? He looked at her in confusion. Why do you say that? Dad said that naughty children would be taken away by a monster if they didn't obey their parents. Dad just said that to make you listen and scare you. But what if monsters are real? She insisted. It's not a monster, he replied quickly. It's just some old guy we don't know. I say we tell Mom and Dad. Maybe we're just overreacting. I mean, what if he's new? Charlie, I'm disappointed, she sighed with a sad shake of her head. I'm only 8 years old. I'm supposed to be the naive one. Shut up, Charlie spat. Come on. They hurried down the stairs. Mom was dusting the mantel, humming a random tune as she went. She was startled at the sound of the children calling frantically. Mom! Mom! They called for her. They ran to her with loud thuds as their... They ran to her with loud thuds of their panicked footsteps. What is going on? She demanded. What have I told you to about running and horseplay in the house? Mom, listen, Winifred pleaded. Mom, the guy we ran into yesterday is in front of the house, Charlie explained quickly. He's just staring at the house. I think he can see into my room, Winifred added. What? She gasped. She peered outside, pulling back one of the drapes a little further. I don't see anyone there. The siblings rushed to the couch and peered over the back and out the window. Indeed, the strange man was gone. Where'd he go? Charlie muttered. Mom, he was there, Winifred insisted. I promise. He's a scary man, Mommy. There's nobody out there, Mom sighed with a hint of annoyance. I don't want to hear your excuses about getting out of your chores. But, Mom, he was there, Charlie defended. Well, if this man is a problem, then perhaps you shouldn't go to the carnival. Both of them went quiet and looked to one another in conflicted silence. Well, there are a lot of people at the carnival, right? Winifred asked. Yeah, Charlie replied nervously. I mean, most of the people there will know who we are, so he can't really do anything, right? I guess you're right, she said. There was a part of them that didn't believe a single word of it, yet the other part tried hard to rationalize everything. They wanted to go to the carnival. Can I help you? Huh? Oh, okay. Then that's the end of that, Mom concluded as she folded her arms. Now, did you two finish cleaning your rooms? Yes, they answered in unison. Hampers in the laundry room? Yes. Then fix yourself some sandwiches for lunch and clean up after yourself. She ordered in a special mom way. I'll inspect your rooms. If I'm satisfied, then you can go ahead to the carnival. Yeah! The siblings cheered. They gave each other high fives and hurried to the kitchen to hurry through their lunch. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, baby girl.
think.
Oh, there goes Mirage and Brits again.
I think I'm gonna get me some noms real quick.
Alrighty.
It'll give
I
your
need to let my throat relax a second.
yeah, I was gonna say it'll give your throat and your jaw a minute to breathe.
Well, sort of.
Fritzy! Stop! Mirage! Stop! They're not gonna stop. They're gonna eventually run up here and I'm gonna shoot him with a spray bottle. You're making my hands dry, Merlin. Such a pretty girl, though. Yeah, you're such a pretty girl. I know, you're so small. You gotta put all that weight back on. I like a beefy gecko. Means you're healthy. Boop, 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 boop. Where you going? That's a good baby girl. Do I get hugs? Do I get hugs and snuggles? Oh, I do. Thank you. I love hugs and snuggles.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'm back and with Pringles.
Pringles!
Yep.
You can't have Pringles. Right, you can't have Pringles.
Cheddar.
I just like the original.
I can't do plain chips.
I used to eat more flavors when I was a kid, but now it's like, oh, Pringles I have to have plain. Potato chips kind of changes. Sometimes I need a flavor, and sometimes original is more than enough.
I can't do original. I just can't stand the taste of plain chips.
Are you editing my work, Merlin? Along my keyboard, making corrections. She's a funny little girl. I love you.
Okay, your dialogue just said he's a funny little girl.
Oh, you're so cute. Alright, let me put you right here. You want to be there? It's gonna pop out? Okay, hello. Alright. She's snuggled up under the covers, laying her head on the pillow. She's so cute.
Yay!
What? My name's not JC.
So apparently you're Jackie now. Great. I'm Johnny. You're Jackie. Or Jakey. I don't know, whatever, but
I
yeah.
think it's JC.
Jay-Z.
Cheesy?
Cheesy?
Oh, goodness gracious, my poor knees. Everything hurts. You what? Where'd you go? Merlin, where'd you go? Merlin? 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 Where'd you go? Merlin? I can't find you, Merlin. She was just there. Where'd you go? Oh no, where'd you go? I lost her. I lost the gecko again. Where'd you go? Merlin, you were just here. Where'd you go?
Which go early was just here with. Apparently. I don't know.
Alright. Found you. Alright, I'm trying to find my Aveeno lotion. My hands are so damn dry. There we go. Can I help you, Mirage? Please don't lay on my keyboard. I don't know what a lambda keyboard is, but okay.
Hello,
All right, then.
lambda keyboard. Hello, lambda keyboard. Okay.
Oh boy. What boob you're trying to hide under?
Let me leave. You're trying. Let me leave. You're trying to hide under. Okay.
Oh dear lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, before I continue, what do you think so far? That was like pretty much a little after the last time I read.
Yeah, that was still good.
It's still funny. I wasn't sure if I wanted to leave the funny stuff in there. And like, would it take some of the feeling out of it? Or
Um,
does it feel more natural?
I think it does because we're both basically in the setup phase. We're learning who these people are, their behaviors, you know, basic introductory stuff like, hey, these are these people. This is how they act with each other. Besides, I thought that was kind of cute. The fact that she names her rabbit the weirdest freaking name ever, and then decides she wants to trick her brother into, cleaning her room for her. Which, yeah, I can see a pair of siblings behaving like that.
I kind of like Charlie because he's like, he can be like that big brother, but at the same time, he's like, he admires her wit.
Yeah, it's just like, you're annoying sometimes, but also I'm kind of impressed by you.
Right. Where are you going, man? Leave her alone!
Leave alone. There's no her, just leave alone.
You want to go back in? Is that what you want? You want to go back to bed? You just wanted a little bit of hangout time? You already had 4 worms today.
Oh, she had quite the meal then.
Yeah. Before I had to put the worms right in front of her because she was just so exhausted from laying her eggs that she just didn't want to move.
I wouldn't want to either.
But now she's like getting a little bit more active. So she's trying to put some weight back on. Oh my god, though. Rarity is so fucking beefy. Like, I picked up Voodoo and I picked up Merlin, and I was playing with them, and then I went to pick up Rarity and play with her, and I'm just like, oh my god, she is so fucking fat. And her tail is so fucking fat. It's like, you are the biggest, beefiest gecko I've ever seen.
And to think she's the middle child.
She's even beefier than Gandalf.
That's kind of surprising.
She's not quite as big as he is lengthwise, but she is so beefy. She has more weight than he does.
That's kind of surprising considering he's older.
Yeah, we were all kind of surprised. Even Chris was like, man, she's big. I'm like, I know. And I picked up today, I'm like, oh my god, she's like really freaking big. Like, she's not like ugly fat, but you can feel all the muscles and you can see just how big her tail is. Like, she's like really strong.
So she looks older than she is.
Yeah. Like, if I wanted to breed her, she would be fine. Because she's got so much weight on her, she has enough to spare for breeding. But I'm not going to. Not right now. Maybe in a year or so. Alright, you have to check in, baby girl. I think it's because, she eats well and she's very active. She likes to play kind of like a puppy in a sense. Like, I'll give her scratches and she'll kind of roll over and like tickle her belly and stuff.
I wonder why Merlin isn't quite so much, because she's, older and she's been eating well.
Well, she used to eat a lot, and then she just, when she was developing her egg, she stopped eating. And now she's kind of just She didn't want to eat at first, but then, like, she ate, like, 6 worms the day after she laid, and she was, like, dancing around like, oh my god, I forgot how fucking good it was to eat. She, like, danced around like, oh yeah, food. So she's just kind of coming back into her own. Oh, God, it just... Oh, excuse me. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, that's going flat. Sorry. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Now we're starting the next phase of the story.
I like how I said yep and then I got the answer as no.
Charlie stood on the sidewalk nervously. He looked up and down the street, expecting to see the strange old man. There was nothing to see, though. He was gone. Thank goodness for that. A few moments later, Winifred bounced out of the house and hurried to Charlie's side. Even there, she continued to bounce on the balls of her feet in excitement. I'm ready, Charlie. Are you ready? She asked hurriedly. He took one more look both ways before feeling confident enough. Yeah, I'm ready. She beamed and grabbed hold of his hand, only to have him spin about and pull it from her. What are you doing? Mom said you have to hold my hand, he explained. You don't need me to hold your hand, he grumbled. Charlie, I want to go to the carnival, she whined. She then lowered her voice. She's watching from the bay window, Charlie. If you don't hold my hand, she's going to come out and get mad at us. Charlie wrinkled his nose and faked a stretch. I have to add that in there. A. Charlie wrinkled his nose and faked a stretch to look towards the bay window. Sure enough, he could see Mom there. She had no expression and simply watched. Blast it. Do you want to hold my hand? He asked quietly. No, Winifred huffed. To the end of the block, he suggested. Agreed, she said with a nod. And that was that. He offered his hand, and Winifred took it. They plastered exaggerated smiles on their faces and waved towards the window. Winifred skipped as Charlie set the pace. It was a sickeningly sweet thing to behold and practically diabetic to experience. As planned, once the house was out of sight and the corner had been turned, the sweetness ended. Charlie and Winifred released each other and exchanged a knowing nod for the successful ruse. The carnival was a bit of a walk, but nothing either of them disliked. They were active children, after all. They passed several homes before reaching the main street. Now they passed primarily businesses, such as convenience stores, an ice cream shop, a video rental, just to name a few. As they passed by one small grocery, a familiar figure exited. He looked at a small piece of paper and then tossed it in a trash bin. Charlie and Winifred froze, but it did no good to go unnoticed. The strange old man noticed them right away and offered a kind smile. Good afternoon, children, he greeted politely. The siblings didn't answer him. It didn't seem to bother him, though. Are you two heading to the carnival? The pair looked to one another. This man was a stranger to them, after all, and they weren't sure about sharing such things. I'm heading there soon myself. You are? Charlie replied with a stammer. Oh, yes. I have a job there to attend to. He reached into his pocket and held out a package. Would either of you like some fruity chewing gum? There was certainly temptation. Winifred took a step forward to reach for the package, but Charlie yanked her back. I'm sorry. We're not supposed to take things from strangers, Mr. The man laughed. Of course. How silly of me. Powers. Call me Mr. Powers. Are you new here, Mr. Powers? Winifred asked curiously. No, he replied. We've never seen you before, Charlie added. I'm afraid I'm a bit of a homebody, Mr. Powers admitted. I'm afraid I make people a bit uncomfortable. Are you a monster? Winifred asked. Charlie panicked and slapped a hand over her mouth. She fussed and glared at him. Winifred, you can't just ask someone that. Mr. Powers lowered his head. Some think so, I'm afraid. That's how it is in small, tight-knit towns such as this. They dislike those who are different from themselves. Maybe someday humankind will move beyond that. The siblings weren't really sure how to respond to that. Even in the daylight, he had a spookiness. His face was just so white, with eyes so black, and cheeks so sunken in. If not for the fact that he had lips, they may have mistaken him for a skeleton. That was spooky indeed. Such creatures were common features in Embryon fairy tales. There were even some old urban legends and folk tales about revenants about Cedar Falls over the years. However, Charlie and Winifred had never seen one in real life. According to the tales, that was a good thing. It was hard to tell if such tales were true or just stories to frighten little children and superstitious old fools. True or not, and regardless of its accuracy, Mr. Powers had something about him that reminded the children of such things. They didn't like it, despite the man's kindness towards them. We should really get going, Charlie said. Charlie suddenly said as he gave Winifred a push. We're supposed to meet Dad soon. He'll get mad if we show up too late. Well, of course, Mr. Powers replied. He gave a polite bow and headed in the opposite direction. He walked a bit aimlessly, but Charlie wasn't about to question it. Perhaps their nervousness was all too obvious. Perhaps, in an attempt to come off less creepy, Mr. Powers chose to avoid going too close in the same direction as they were. Whatever the reason, it made Charlie feel better. It wasn't too long before Winifred peered back and then glanced at Charlie with a hint of confusion. She freed herself from his pushing and studied him. Why did you tell him that? What? Why did you tell Mr. Powers that we were meeting Dad? Dad's not at the carnival. Shush, he encouraged. There's just something about him, Charlie admitted. I didn't want him thinking we were alone. Maybe if he thinks Dad is at the carnival, he won't keep creeping on us. Besides, he doesn't know who our dad is, and we'll know a lot of people there. We just have to make sure we stay with people we know. Oh, she replied, just above a whisper. I get it. Right. So don't go off by yourself, and don't let on that we're not with our parents. You know, just in case. She smiled and saluted him. Aye, aye, brother. That managed to give Charlie a bit of a chuckle. Another quick look around, and he felt a little better. He put his hands in his pockets and continued on his way with Winifred by his side. That's the end of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Still good. Yeah.
Still feel organic?
Yeah? I mean, yeah, they just ran into a guy they technically only met once, who's kind of odd, and they kind of, yeah. So, yeah. Still feels normal.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I was like, I don't know if this is really organic or if it's kind of pushing it. And the more I go on, the more I keep thinking of that. No. Next scene.
I like how I accidentally bumped my phone with my elbow, and my microphone decides that result equals me saying no. So random thud equals no.
My name isn't Brenda. No, I said my name is not Brenda. Nor am I Grant. Whatever.
I like how you're like, no, my name isn't Brenda, but yes, it is apparently.
Your name is Roberta, apparently.
Yay.
You're welcome.
Alright then.
Alright, next scene.
Excuse me.
The valley was in view. The valley was in view now as Charlie and Winifred reached the sidewalks near the gravel road that would take them down to their destination. The music of all the attractions and garbled sound of faraway barkers echoed in the air and up towards them. The smells wafted on gentle breezes and teased their hopeful little noses. This would be a wonderful day. From their perch, they could see the colorful booths and tents. There was a Ferris wheel in plain sight. There were some boxy areas as well. They could only assume they'd be the haunted adventure and fun house. There were so many balloons and canopies. Already, small ant-like figures speckled the grounds. There were plenty of people already there. Winifred grabbed into Charlie's wrist and held on tightly as she pulled. Charlie, come on! I want to ride the carousel! Let's go!
You know, I'm even at my age, that's still one of my favorite rides.
Hey, yeah, especially if they have cool-looking creatures on there.
No, I just want my horses. I'm happy with my horses. It's one of the few times I'm more old-fashioned and kind of.
Carousels are awesome.
I love carousels.
Can I help you? What are you doing? What are you doing, goof? He didn't have much choice. Her insistence was strong, and he was more than happy to hurry down the gravel road and into the valley. There were just so many things to do and so many things to experience. There were rides, games, shows, and animals. Truly, it was an explosion of childhood glee. Enjoy they did. Winifred got her way when it came to the carousel. She found a fiberglass dolphin with a pretty saddle and chose it for her own steed. She pretended to race another little girl on a neighboring zebra, much to their delight. Charlie avoided these feminine steeds and chose for himself an angry and speedy-looking bronco. He felt like a cowboy chasing down bandits, ornery steers, and runaway stagecoaches like in the movies he had seen about the life in faraway now I can't say it. Ugh. Like in the movies he had seen about life in faraway Mahawel, a large country on the Moradigan continent on the other side of Embry. Of course, he wasn't as open about his daydreaming as Winifred. He was getting too old for such blatant physical pretending. The ride ended, but swiftly, one ride was replaced with another. Friends had now gathered What? Sorry, he's kind of messing with everything. Hey, stop. Lay down. Lay down.
Oh, Mirage.
Lay down. Yes. Lay down, Mirage. Lay down. Thank you. Lay down.
Lay down, thank you, let dad. I like earlier when it had like a Spanish Mirage. Le Mirage.
The ride ended, but swiftly one ride was replaced with another. Friends had now gathered the siblings and took them on their separate ways. Okay, that made more sense. Charlie and his friends went for the wildest roller coaster in the valley, as Winifred and her friends enjoyed a much more compact and less extreme coaster meant for such younger patrons.
From one end to the other, they enjoyed the log flume, twirl-a-whirl, the teacups, parachute drop, and of course the fun house. The fun house was a very popular place for the carnival patrons, regardless of age or profession. Aside from the barker out front, all the staff inside were dressed as silly clowns. They kept watch over the maze. The hamster they kept watch over the maze, the hamster wheel, and other such areas where watchful eyes were important and controls had to be manned in consideration of one type of patron or other. Of course, there was a wide selection of silly mirrors. One moment a reflection could be short and fat, while in the next they were tall and skinny.
I'd love to go through a maze, a fun house like that. I've never been able to mess with the fun mirrors. That would be awesome.
I wasn't a huge fan of the funhouse. I'm a boring person, like the fairs and stuff. Then there was any combination of reflections in between. There were gleeful cries and those of frightened children. Whether it was a feature within the crazy experience or the clowns themselves, there was always a handful of people, primarily children, that found such things frightening rather than joyful. Charlie slid down the red and wavy slide, passing one clown and hitting the mat at the bottom with a squeal. He was quick to scramble awkwardly to his feet and chase his friends out the exit and past another clown. Boy, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? The clown laughed with a silly voice. He honked the horn twice. You're such a slowpoke, one of his friends, Mike, said as he pointed towards him. How is it to be in the dust? Poof, Charlie responded. Maybe you guys went too fast. I was enjoying every part of the fun house. You guys just zipped right through. Where's the fun in that? Man, I'm glad I ran into you guys, another friend, James, sighed. I've been trying to get my little brother and sister in there. Fred thinks he'll get stuck in the hamster wheel, and Gina thinks clowns are scary. Little kids are no fun. Hey, speaking of which, Mike began, is your sister here, Charlie? Or is she at home with Mommy? She's here, he answered. She floated away with her friends somewhere. Get her out of your hair for a while, James chuckled. Oh, gets her out of your hair for a while, James chuckled. She doesn't bother me too much, he shrugged. Winifred is tougher than she lets on. The only reason she isn't going on certain rides is what she lacks in size, not courage. Do you know how strange it is to hear of a guy who finds his baby sister cool? Mike teased. Sorry, I had the keyboard in a different position. It's a little harder to see. I can't stand mine half the time, James chimed in. Well, yeah, she can get annoying at times, Charlie assured. That's just how it is. She's clever, though, and that just intrigues me. Still strange, his friends teased. Charlie was about to deliver a retort of some form or other. I can't fucking read my own writing.
Yep, been there.
Charlie was about to deliver a retort of some form or fashion, but stopped when he saw an eerie figure. He was tall and lanky. The dark robes were wavy and flowed like that of a ghost, but it was evident by the arms that slid out from time to time that it was larger than the body underneath. The hood shadowed the wearer just enough. Even then, Charlie could see a kerchief tied about the figure's face. The print was that of a menacingly grinning skeleton's jaw. Those glowing eyes made him feel cold and clammy. Hey! Mike shouted as he gave Charlie a light punch. What's the deal? You're going all weird on us. Are you going to puke? That guy, he pointed. That creepy skeleton-looking guy? James asked. What about him? He's from the Haunted Adventure ride, Mike said. Really creepy stuff in there. So you've seen him before? Charlie asked. Well, I saw him in the Haunted Adventure. I saw him a few times between rides. I don't know who he is, but I know he works in there. Why? He
looks a little like someone. You're not scared, are you? Mike teased. It's just a guy in a Reaper costume. There are lots of ghosts, skeletons, monsters, and Reapers in the ride. This is unlike you, James observed. Why isn't he in the ride? It's probably a break, James shrugged. Maybe he gets a drink or a snack or some air. Yeah, it's really stuffy in there, Mike agreed with a nod. Suddenly, something grabbed the three of them and let out a loud cry. Woo! The three of them screamed and jumbled into the arms and body and one another. Just as quickly, they were free and hearing a roar of laughter. Behind them was a clown. Oh my God, my mouth is not working. I'm having a really hard time forming the words. Behind them was the clown at the funhouse exit. He honked his horn and laughed himself into stitches. Another clown was laughing as well. However, it was a darker clown. He was tall, and his makeup was white with black markings. He was painted up like a black and white skeleton clown. He hooted and laughed in a way that seemed insane and cruel. What the hell is wrong with you? James squealed. I almost pissed my pants. Grow a backbone, kid, the dark clown scoffed. Another round of insane laughter came from him as he pulled a spine out from his clothes. A round of gasps only entertained him more. What's wrong? Didn't you find it humorous? I had to do a couple puns. The panting boys tried to tune out that eerie laugh. Mike placed a hand on his chest to catch his breath. Damn, you really got us. He gave Charlie a pat on the back. Hey, Charlie, it's fine. It's another guy from the Haunted Adventure. That wasn't funny, James scolded. It was hilarious, the dark clown insisted. What's the matter? Can't handle a good spook? Geez, we weren't even prepared for that. If we wanted to be scared, we'd be on the stupid ride. James, calm down, Mike urged. It was just a joke. Dude, Charlie, do you need a drink? Well, if you pansies get some guts, come on the Haunted Adventure and we'll give you a real show. Tell him Shackles the Clown sent you. Ha! As Shackles walked away, he continued to laugh. The boys then glared at the exit clown accusingly. What? He shrugged. Sorry, boys. It was just too funny to pass up. I had to let him do it. Not cool, James grumbled. Look, you guys are killing Charlie. Charlie dropped to his knees, still trying to control his breathing. He had begun hyperventilating and felt himself growing hot and dizzy. Get him some water, Mike ordered. A moment later, a cold drink was offered, and Charlie leaned on Mike for balance as he guzzled it down. It felt good, except for the sudden case of hiccups. Charlie, breathe, Mike urged. Perhaps he should be taken to the first aid building, a man's voice suggested. He's normally not like this, James said with concern. Slowly, very slowly, the static that clouded Charlie's sight began to give way. His breathing was slower and a bit more shallow due to those hiccups. One problem down, and another instead. In the next instant, Charlie let out a frightened gasp and forced himself to his feet. Again, he felt lightheaded, but he used his weight to push him forward in an awkward run as he pushed the Reaper away with a hand to the face. He didn't care how it looked or how rude it was. That wasn't on his mind at the moment. He just had to get away. He had to get away from clowns, away from ghosts, ghouls, skeletons, Reapers, and anything connected to that stupid horror ride. End of scene.
Yep. Well, that went well.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering, did that come off as organic?
Yeah, it still feels fine. Felt fine to me anyway.
Cool. Give me a second. My poor jaw.
No, that's fine.
Guess I'm not taking another muscle relaxer tonight.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Well,
Sounds like
that's one reason why I take them is for my jaw.
Yeah.
It's for my jaw, my neck, and my shoulders.
Yeah.
Because of the TMJ.
Right. Because the T and J. All right. Like in, yeah, as in like actual drinking tea. And JAY.
Let me get that note. Let me get that nose out of your hair. Oh, that's where you put the egg. He's playing with Merlin's slugs.
Yeah.
Well, they're not gross or anything. They're all dry.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sheree, I didn't even know you were there. You scared me.
Cause shit scared. Okay.
Huh? What'd you say?
When you told them that they scared you, it came out as oh shit scared.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't realize Sheree was still laying on the box, so when she got up, it just... Oh, come on, you spelled Sheree first time correctly. Ah, fuck it. I said fuck it, not okay.
There we go. There we go, you. Okay then.
Okay, so yeah, that scene was okay?
I don't have any problems with it.
Alright. Yeah, I had such a hard time working on this.
Well, I mean, think about it. You have a kid who, if I've done the math correctly, is about what, 12?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
Yes. So, 12-year-old who runs into a weird looking guy once and gets the creeps. Guy then shows up at your outside your house, outside your property for no explainable reason. And then when you go to said carnival, you run into him on the way there, which makes it seem more like he's stalking you. And then you see another person resembling said person at the fair, which there again almost makes it seem like they're stalking you. And then you have random clowns scare the bejeebas out of you. Yeah, I would pretty much be acting something similar to that at 12 years old.
Oh. Okay. Oops. Alright. Next scene.
I'd probably wind up having to change my pants after that.
Well, that's why I had to put that other thing. Dude, I almost pissed my pants.
Yeah.
Alright. Charlie hid himself in a show tent. He wasn't particularly interested in the show, nor was he sure what type of show it was. He kept peeking out, much to the annoyance of the ushers. When he was able to see straight and the hiccups had finally subsided, he exited and began to look around for the group of little girls and the chaperone of said group. Rather than the group, he noticed Winifred by herself. He hurried up to her in a mix of panic, relief, and agitation. Winifred, I thought you were with Molly and her mom. Where'd everyone go? Be quiet, Charlie, Winifred scolded as she twisted the large softball in her hand. I'm trying to concentrate.
He looked to the booth and realized it was a dunking booth. There was a very large target. Beside it was a tank of water. On the seat was a man that looked like a crude hobo. I've been trying to knock this guy down. The others got tired of waiting, Winifred explained. She threw the softball and missed the target. Hey! You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn! You're blind as a bat! The hobo taunted. Ugh! Winifred roared. I just have to shut him up! Walk away, Charlie suggested. Then you won't hear him. Yeah, listen to your nerdy brother, the hobo shouted. Run to mommy! Winifred let out another roar and threw another softball. Again, it missed. You're not gonna do it! Pick your nose and chew it! The hobo shouted. You ain't got what it takes, small fry! By the way, I actually did have a guy in a dunking booth say that to me.
That is the weirdest freaking saying. Also,
I cannot believe I remembered it over all these years. That's what he said to me when I tried to throw the ball at him.
also, split second. Oh, great. Now I can't think of names when I need them. Like split second. Bobcat sounding voice for
Oh my god.
for like
It wasn't intentional.
for only for like a split second. It's like
Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, I could not do Bobcat.
not now, not intentionally anyway.
Yeah.
But you can for
Winifred
like
pulled back her arm. It was at that point that Charlie placed his hand on hers. His back was towards the dunking booth, but he still felt those heckling eyes on him. Wait. What? Winifred asked. Charlie took the ball from her and took a few deep breaths. He's gotten under your skin. There's no way you'll be able to hit the target if you keep getting angry. He turned around and took a good look at the target. He threw the softball and made the much-needed hit. The seat gave way and down the hobo went into the water. It was satisfying. Winifred pointed up at a large plush frog for the chosen prize. Thanks, Charlie, she cheered. Why aren't you with Stank and Stunk? Mike and James, he grumbled. Whatever. Weren't you guys going to do the boy stuff? I saw him, he said. That confused Winifred for a moment. Him who? It suddenly hit her then. Him? That Mr. Powers guy? I think so. He's even creepier in costume. Costume? Is he a clown? No. He's in the Haunted Adventure, I think. Winifred was silent at first. She tried hard to figure out, which is not spelled correctly. Now it is. She tried hard to figure out what feeling she was supposed to have. He did say he was going to work here. I expected a barker or a game booth or something, Charlie admitted. Something that made him less creepy. Now he looks even creepier than before. I mean, if it's him. Winifred simply began walking. Charlie called after her and was quick to catch up with her. Winifred, didn't you hear me? I want something to eat, she said simply. Let's go get some burgers and shakes. How did you think of food at a time like this? He shouted. Because it's time to eat, she grumbled. He wanted to argue, but noticed that look on her face. It was her warning, bossy face. Normally, he'd be just as stubborn. This time, however, he simply gave in to her demands and followed her to the food area of the valley. At their seats, they ate their meals. They would likely eat themselves sick throughout the evening. There was so much ice cream, funnel cake, pretzels, corn dogs, popcorn, and cotton candy to enjoy.
because elephant ears aren't a thing.
I've
never seen elephant ears.
I will have to look. They're actually really neat. They're basically fried bread wrapped in cinnamon sugar.
Oh. For now, this was the closest thing to real food that they would get. It was a quiet affair. Winifred simply said nothing at all. It was eerie. Charlie found himself simply staring at her. He wanted to speak. He wanted to ask her questions, but she seemed so unwelcoming. I want to go on the Ferris wheel, she suddenly said. Go with me and Ribbit. You named the frog already? Yes, and I've already promised that he could stay on my bed next week after Miss Fluffcasuffles finishes her turn. He rolled his eyes and walked with her to the line. Again, she seemed to have an air about her that demanded no conversation. Charlie just couldn't seem to find the right words to prompt one. It wasn't until they were closed into their pod and in their seats before she finally engaged him again. Now we can talk. I have to admit, that was really weird, Winifred. I saw him too, she said flatly. I keep seeing him all over the place. I wasn't sure at first, but the way it made me feel, I knew it had to be him. How is he getting all over if he's supposed to be on that horror ride? Charlie asked. I don't know, she said. He was watching at the dunking booth. I could see him behind you. People just kept walking by like he wasn't even there. I was going to say something when we got food, but I saw him there too. I just don't get why he's following us, Charlie frowned. Be discreet, she said. He was watching us in line too. He's by the restrooms. He's still staring. Discreet, Charlie corrected. He looked around with a smile, forcing a laugh to make it seem more believable. As the pod rose for the next people to get in, he noticed. The man was by the restrooms indeed, and was staring at the Ferris wheel. Charlie turned to face Winifred and let out a nervous sigh. He's creeping me out really bad. What does he want? Winifred asked. I don't know, he shrugged. Maybe we're just making too big of a deal about it. He's on the horror ride, so he'd obviously just scary. There are other people in scary costumes around the carnival. Maybe, she shrugged. She looked out as the pod rose higher and higher. She was able to see a lot of the town from such a vantage point. In the distance, she could also see the park that housed the waterfall that gave the town its name. Should we just go home? Charlie suddenly asked. I don't want to go home, she replied. I don't want to be scared away. She pulled her gaze away from the world outside the pod and gave her brother a very stern glare. I think we should face him. Whoa, what? Charlie gasped. Well, maybe if we just go on that scary ride, we won't think he's that scary anymore. Maybe, Charlie replied, though it was obvious he wasn't as sure as she seemed to be. Mike said he went on it. He seemed to think it was the fun kind of scary. Remember when I was scared of monsters under my bed? She began. What does that have to do with anything? He asked with an arch of his brow. I was really scared, but one night I crawled under the bed and slept there all night long. No monsters. I've not been afraid of it since. And what about when you were scared of thunder? Dad said it was the clouds bowling. Were you scared after that? No, he admitted. So are you saying that if we go on the haunted adventure, we'll see how silly it was to be scared? Oh, it's worth a try, she shrugged. Charlie looked out the pod again. There was no sign of the man. Somehow his absence made Charlie feel a lot better. Maybe they were just overreacting. It's worth a try, he repeated. End of scene.
Woo! Woo!
This is actually where it starts getting a little weird for me too. It's like,
That wasn't weird. At least not in the way that you're thinking.
Yeah, like, okay, are we still organic? Is this still logical? Does this still make sense?
Well, we're gonna find out. I'm following it anyway, though.
That's good.
Seems to me you're just beating up on yourself.
Well, you know how I am when it comes to writing.
I know how you are when it comes to your art in general,
Yeah.
writing or otherwise.
Excuse me. Give me a second. Rod is knocked out.
Rick, not now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually read, isn't it? Hasn't it? I mean,
It's a little. Yeah, I mean, you read the last. The last time you read actually was when you first started this story, but the last time you read an entire story, yeah, it's been a little bit. Yep. Okay, let's hit the bottle with the can of Pringles, because that's how we do things.
This is how we do it.
Is this how we do that?
Whatever.
Okay then.
Oh. Trying to.
Did I what?
There. I had to check Mirage's eyes. I'm trying to keep them from getting messed up again. They're a lot better. His that the swollen redness has all gone away.
Yay!
I didn't even need to buy him medicine. I just did what I did last time. Cold compress and keeping his eyes clean.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. The line was beginning to have quite the queue. Of course, night was falling over Keter Falls. What better time was there to experience a scary ride than after dark? The evening was rather warm. The waning summer and waxen autumn still battled over how the day should feel one way or the other. I want ice cream, Winifred whined. I thought you wanted to go on this ride, Charlie accused. I do. I'm just saying that I want an ice cream. Let's get one after we finish this. It's just too hot. Charlie gave a tug of the collar of his shirt. I guess it's a good idea. I honestly thought it would be cooler. He was suddenly tackled hard. He was unable to react, but Winifred let out a little scream. Hey, if you can't handle that, you'll never make it through the haunted adventure, a familiar voice laughed. Mike! Charlie scolded. Ugh, where did skunk and cheese come from? Winifred growled as she folded her arms. Who invited you guys? Can it, Squirt? James teased. You're taking your sister on the haunted adventure? Mike asked. You really are testing her limits. Or is she protecting you? What are you talking about? Charlie accused. Well, with all the fuss earlier, I didn't expect to see you go on this ride. You don't know anything, Charlie muttered. You're not going to freak out again, are you? James asked. However, his tone showed a little bit more concern. You kind of scared us earlier. I just wasn't prepared, he insisted. I'm ready now. What about her? Mike asked as he thumbed towards Winifred. I'm not scared, she spat. They're just people in costumes. Well, we'll just see how well you do then, won't we? Mike grinned. Leave her alone, Charlie grumbled. Okay, Mike replied as he held up his hands. Sheesh, you're so stuffy today. There's just been a lot on my mind, okay? Can we just enjoy the ride? James and Mike looked to one another in confusion. They could only shrug. Do you want us to sit with you? James asked. Charlie then looked to Winifred. This was her idea, after all. He didn't have to say anything. She already knew what he wanted to ask. I guess that would be fine, she agreed. It might be more fun to have a group of friends, even if they are stupid, smelly boys. She gave a glance towards Charlie before turning up her nose. He smiled dully. Having Mike and James with them, there'd be safety in numbers. It wouldn't be as scary. Besides, Mike had already gone on the ride. He knew how it worked. Sounds good to me, he agreed. A car rolled out and emptied. The riders had different reactions, some frightened and some giddy. Everyone reacted so differently to the experience. Needless to say, it was time for Charlie, Winifred, Mike, and James to refill the car and buckle themselves in. As the car rode through the doors and into the darkness, it resonated from the booming voice overhead. Welcome to the bowels of hell. Here we go, Mike practically giggled. Already it was uncomfortable. The track rattled beneath them. It was hot, even hotter than it was outside. Shadows and pre-recorded noises set the atmosphere. Skeletons rattled their bones, and torn-up actors reached out with tortured pleas as the red, orange, and yellow glimmer of lights flickered about. The ride sped up, whisking the group down what looked like a mine shaft, and clamming with such heavy humidity. It felt gross, especially having wet strands thrown at them from more actors. One could liken it to moss or kelp, though it tore easily, revealing it to be wet tissue paper of some sort. The group certainly reacted. Even Charlie and Winifred felt the nervousness begin to fade and turn into a fun adventure of scares. They caught themselves smiling and laughing. To be fair, Mike and James added quite the hilarious commentary. Once at the bottom of the drop, the car began to slow once more. The tracks were flanked by dark water. The sounds of snarls and snaps and of screams echoed off the walls. Alligators floated in the swampy area, some far and some near. Despite being fake, the lightning and atmosphere certainly made them frightening. The slowness of this area made it even more of an experience. It felt as if there was no escape from the beasts. Just as things began to settle and the group became used to the surroundings, a mixture of bony and rotting hands began to reach up and the water began to bubble. Gnarly! Mike shouted as the others screamed and tried to get as close to the center of the car as possible. The fog began to thicken, and they rounded the next bend. The track led them into the head of a giant dragon's mouth, the fog smoking from its nostrils. The next room was the innards, walls of painted meat and bones with fake treasures and bodies. Within moments, all went black. There was no telling where they were going at this point. Once the lights came back on, the car was swished through a set of doors, resembling the flaps of a big top. This was a hellish circus. There was a fake lion chewing on a fake body, while the other half crawled out from the floor, a little too obviously hidden in a hole. Actors dressed as mutant freaks shot out from either side. A fake tightrope walker teetered in one far corner, and then that laugh. Here it comes, Mike shouted as they rounded the next bend and came to the lair of Shackles the Clown. He and other demonic clowns shot seltzer at the car and popped balloons close to the riders. The ride sped up again and pushed them through a set of hospital doors. Within the walls were bloody as the car zipped through a filthy hospital, unclear of its type. A regular hospital? A dentist? An asylum? There's a little of everything, with bloodied actors doing horrible things to the presumed dummies. The lights flickered on and off as they reached the end of that scene. An actor was strapped to a table and convulsed as a crazy-looking doctor pulled a lever to electrocute him. A haunted cemetery was next. Groans and thunder and screams played throughout. There were the ghosts and ghouls. There were hanged dummies on fake trees. And it's him! Charlie found himself screaming as they approached another fake tree with a fake crow in the branches. Beneath the tree was the man, the Reaper, the one that had been following them. Those magenta eyes cut through the fog. It felt as if the icy stare was cutting through Charlie. He could feel Winifred pressing against him, likely feeling quite similar. Mike let out a wild cheer. As fast as the siblings had been caught in that moment, they were distracted and looked about. In the next moment, Mr. Powers was gone. They looked about frantically. "Where did he go?" Winifred cried out. The lights flickered to simulate lightning, and then the creepy Reaper jumped onto the front of the car. All four riders let out panicked screams, almost as loud as the ones projected from the speakers overhead. Another lightning flicker, and he was gone. "Where is he now?" Charlie screamed. Again, they frantically looked around as the car sped through the end of the cemetery. Then it stopped. The car just stopped. End of scene.
Uh-oh. Strangely enough, I'm getting flashbacks from that one creepypasta.
The what? Oh. Yeah, I actually thought of that too. I'm like, oh my god, this reminds me of that creepypasta.
It's like, and this is where the monster would attack. Because now the car is stuck.
Yeah, I said that too when I was working. I'm like, oh my god, this sounds like that one creepypasta, except it's totally different. But yeah, the whole car being weird and the noises.
Uh-huh.
It differs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, for some reason, just during this section, it's just like, that reminds me of that one thing.
How was the description on that? I had a hard time with that one too. It was like so much description, and it was just so rapid.
It's weird because it's like, this feels like it's like, on the one hand, it's its own thing, but at the same time, it feels like it has callbacks not only to that creepypasta, but one of the Goosebumps book. I forget which one.
Oh, a day at Horrorland or something.
No, not that one. Shocker on Shock Street.
Well, I've not read that one.
I only know it more, I think, for the episode than the actual book.
I don't think I've seen the episode either.
But basically, they're testing out this. They're testing out this theme park that their dad had made. These two kids are testing out this theme park that their dad made. That's based on the different monsters and creatures and whatnot from the Shock Street horror series or whatever. Wow. And then while they're in their car, the car stops and they're stuck and they wind up having to be chased by. They're being confronted by the different creatures.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that was one with the praying mantis. I just never actually read it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it kind of has a little bit of that, plus a little bit of that creepypasta, but it's also kind of its own thing. So it's like a weird mixture of, this is my own thing, but also kind of making callbacks too.
Yeah. And I was
So,
trying to remember rides from when I was a kid, and it kind of also reminded me of the opening to Beetlejuice when they're on the roller coaster. But I wasn't sure if I was describing the ride very well. And I mean, on the one hand, it's like, yeah, well, it's not supposed to necessarily be a horror. I mean, if it works out that way, great. But it just is what it is.
it's a creepy ride. It's supposed to give you. It's supposed to kind of freak you out a little bit, but yeah, it's your basic horror ride at an amusement park. It just has that extra added thing that there's an actual reaper.
And originally, I wasn't gonna have them swear, even though all they said was piss and damn.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured, you know what? These are. I was trying to, little boys back then would have said stuff like this. It reminded me of like Sandlot.
Oh yeah.
It's like no, that this is just how boys talk when they're with their buddies. So
Mhm.
I thought it would be more realistic to have instead of him going, I almost peed myself or gee willikers, like no, they said damn and piss.
Yeah, it does kind of have that sort of.
Wasn't even the worst, you know,
Yeah.
profanity to be used.
Yeah, and it does kind of have a weird sort of Sandlotty feel when he's talking to the other boys.
When I was working on this scene with them talking back and forth, the first thing I thought I was like, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Oh, I'm not even sure if that's even going to still be a group thing since Arachne's no longer.
Yeah.
I mean, not unless somebody, re-adds him that's still friends with him.
Alright. The next scene. When shit gets real.
Yeah.
Alright. Mike, James, Charlie, and Winifred just sat there for a moment. The sounds were still blasting over the speakers, and things still seemed to be happening throughout the ride. It just didn't seem to be progressing. What's happening? James asked. Mike, what happens now? Charlie added. Mike was quiet a moment as he nervously looked about. Hey! Winifred shouted. I don't know, he finally replied. This didn't happen last time. Maybe the ride is stuck, James suggested. What do we do now? Charlie asked. Should we just sit here? Maybe, from Mike. Winifred looked around and sighed.
Looked around, sighed.
I was in a weird place when I was writing the end of this.
It seems more like you were writing in a hurry.
Yeah, I was writing in a hurry and I was kind of tired. And by the very last scene, I had the computer way on one side and I had the keyboard way on the other, so I didn't even see what the hell I was writing.
Then
was
that
just
means
like-
this should be good.
Yeah, well, I did go back and correct it, but everything was fine. I just had to fix the spelling of everything. Where am I at? Winifred looked around and sighed. Where are the actors? James frowned. Maybe we should just look for an exit. Hello? Mike called behind them. Anyone there? Hey, cemetery people! We're stuck! Someone help us out here! After several more minutes, everyone turned to Mike. What now? James asked. We're near the end, he replied. There were a few more rooms. Are there any other actors? Charlie asked. Yeah, he replied. Then why haven't they come looking for us? Winifred accused. Why would they? Mike asked. We're not in their room. She's right, though, Charlie chimed in. The ride has a schedule. We've been here for about 10 minutes. Surely they should have come to check why we haven't shown up yet. Man, the one time we need... Excuse me. Man, the one time we need creepy Mr. Powers to follow us, and he's nowhere to be found, Winifred huffed. Who? From James. The last guy we saw. We think it's a man named Mr. Powers, Charlie explained. He's been following us around since yesterday. Freaky, Mike stated. He unbuckled himself and hopped out of the car. How am I getting fur in my mouth? Sorry. What are you doing? James cried out. We're not supposed to do that. Well, we can't just sit here, he spat back. Let's just work our way through the ride or to an emergency exit. It's too hot to just wait in here. I'm sweating like a pig. I'm thirsty, Winifred whined. James was next to unbuckle and exit the car. Then came Charlie. And he helped Winifred from her seatbelt and then from the car. Okay, Mike began. There has to be an emergency exit somewhere. Let's look for one. Even if we don't find one ourselves, maybe one of the actors will help us. They'll know their way around the ride, right? We don't really have much choice, do we? James asked. Sitting here doesn't seem to be getting us anywhere, Charlie admitted. Let's do it, Winifred insisted. I'm hot and thirsty. Okay, then let's go, Mike declared. It was no sooner decided when the speakers began to make wonky noises. It was a mix of amusing and creepy in its warped projection. Then there was a loud bang and all the lights and sound turned off. Winifred let out a scream and grabbed onto Charlie desperately. What happened? James asked. Maybe a fuse blew, Mike suggested. Now what? From Charlie. What are we supposed to do now? We can't see anything. Now we can't find a door or an actor or anything. Charlie, I'm scared, Winifred cried. Okay, I've got an idea, Mike shouted. Let's just work our way to the walls. Then we just follow the walls until we find a door. This darkness is disorienting, James whined. Look, it's that or nothing. Mike was getting quite irritated by this point. Winifred, you come with me, Charlie told her. Keep holding on to me, okay? Okay, she replied quietly, clearly upset at the turn of events. It was so quiet. They were so focused on trying to find the wall, an exit, or seeing anything in the blackness that conversation just seemed like too much of a distraction. It felt like a timeless abyss. There were just so many things to bump into and trip over. The only comfort was the contact Charlie and Winifred had with each other. His presence kept her from losing it completely. She was upset, but tried so hard to resist bawling. Hearing her there and feeling her grip made Charlie feel stronger. He couldn't give up. He had to make it out for her. Ouch. Hey, he called into the dark. He had no idea where he was, or if they had traveled anywhere at all. Mike? James? Did you guys find anything yet? Nothing. There was no answer. He let out a grumble. Great. You think they made it out? Winifred asked. I don't know. They didn't call for us or anything. She sniffled as she fought the urge again. I'm sorry. This confused Charlie, and he felt around for the top of her head. For what? This isn't your fault. It is, she quietly sobbed. I made us get on this ride. It's my fault we're here. He carefully wrapped her arms. His arms. I don't know why it said.
Okay, he's gonna wrap her arms around her. Yep.
Gotta strangle her with her own arms. He carefully wrapped his arms about her and gave her a squeeze. It's okay, Winifred. This isn't your fault. You didn't break the ride. We're never going to get out of here, she cried. Someone will fix the ride, Charlie assured. Someone has to come through here. I'm so hot and thirsty, she whined. Me too. When we get out of here, we'll get really big sundaes, okay? Lots of toppings, too. Okay, she said quietly. He reached about ahead of him as he led Winifred again in the darkness. He felt nothing on his hand, but nearly tripped over an obstacle. What was that? Winifred cried out. Charlie examined it the best he could. It was solid and rounded. A little more exploring, he let out a hum. I think we made it back into the cemetery room. Hello? Winifred cried out. Ghosties? Zombies? Mr. Powers? Is anyone in here? We're lost and we're stuck in here. Help us. We're hot, scared, and thirsty. There was no reply. This was disappointing. Along with the despair sinking into his stomach, Charlie was also getting rather angry. Where did everyone go? Look, we've been stuck in here for a while. Someone help us. I don't think there's anyone in here, Winifred said sadly. Charlie said nothing. He simply kept on going. It was hard. He had a hard time keeping track. He had a hard time keeping track of the fake headstones and other props. It felt like forever before he felt the wall give way. I see some light, Winifred cheered. You found the exit. Eagerly, both pushed on the wall and nearly fell into the next room. A light flickered, and it was clearly empty. The hospital room, Charlie observed. There's nobody in here, unless they're all hiding in the shadows. Nothing. No one answered his hunch. He let out a sigh. Well, maybe we can find an exit in here. At least there's a little light. Winifred sat down on the floor as Charlie tried to maneuver about the room. He rubbed at the walls, unable to find a door. This is ridiculous, he shouted. There has to be an exit somewhere. He turned to see Winifred lying down. Winifred? I'm so thirsty, she cried. I need a drink, Charlie. My throat is so dry. I'm so hot. I'm hot and thirsty too, Winifred. We have to keep going. I'm too hot and tired, she whined. Please, he begged. He came close and tried his best to pull her up. The next room was the circus room. We'll either find an emergency exit or we end up back at the beginning. What about the swamp? Winifred asked. There's water on both sides of the track. What if there's no light in there? We can barely see in here. We have to try, he encouraged. She forced herself up and leaned on him as he led them through the room of Shackles the clown. Again, there was no one. This room flickered a little brighter. The backdrops were so dark. The light, however, was much brighter in the main big top. The flickering of orange and red shone through the fabric. Blech. So light was not an issue. Parched as they were, the heat was suffocating. Charlie ranted in his head about the lack of air conditioner. He understood that the heat made the atmosphere better. It was such a hot night outside. It was just beyond horrible. Then again, if the power was off, what good would an air conditioner be? At best, it would have been a temporary relief. It would have taken longer for the heat to reach such levels of discomfort. The cool air could have circulated better. But what good did it do now to complain? Winifred crawled over to the hole in the floor where the dead lion tamer had once been. She had hoped for something helpful, but found nothing but a stool for the actor to sit upon. She flattened herself against the floor with a small whine. A startled scream then escaped when a splash of cold... Try that again. A startled scream then escaped when a splash of cold water poured over her. She rolled over just as Charlie spun around. "You!" he called out. Sure enough, it was the same man, the same Mr. Powers. Before he could say anything more, the man lifted Winifred and slung her over his shoulder. He then approached Charlie. "You must follow me," Mr. Powers said, through the mandible scarf. "I'll get you out of here." Finally! At this point, Charlie didn't even care that it was Mr. Powers. He didn't care about anything other than the fact that they would be able to leave the ride. My friends are still trapped inside. Hold on, I lost my spot. Mr. Powers said nothing about that and hurried along to lead the boy to an exit and then outside. It wasn't as pretty as the front. It was smelly and by a dumpster. It didn't matter, though. They were outside, and even the warm breeze was a cool relief compared to the smothering heat inside. Mr. Power sat Winifred down on the grass and handed her a drink. It was so cool and refreshing. She guzzled it down with great delight. Another was offered to Charlie. "What about my friends?" he asked. "They're fine," Mr. Powers replied, as he pulled the scarf and hood down to reveal his whole head. "What the heck happened?" Charlie asked. "One minute we were enjoying the ride. The next, everything stops and everyone disappears." "There was quite a malfunction," Mr. Powers explained. "It made such a mess." He looked over to Winifred and gave her a thoughtful smile as she tried to gulp from the empty cup. "Well, it's all over now. How about I treat you to some more drinks and maybe some ice cream?" "You don't have to do that," Charlie said to him. "But it would be really, really nice of you," Winifred finally chimed in. It brought out a few chuckles. "Indeed, I'd be happy to do so. I'm not all bad." "Why would you say something like that?" Charlie asked. "I can tell I've unfortunately made a bad impression on you two. Don't look alarmed. I'm afraid your reaction is a bit common for me." "You know," Charlie began, "you really were kind of scary." "We thought going on the ride and seeing you there would make it less scary." "It was my idea," Winifred exclaimed. "Did it work?" he asked. "I guess so," Charlie replied. "You are still strange, but you seem kind of nice." "I suppose I am quite a sight," he chuckled. "Come along. Let's get you hydrated and happy." End of scene. What do you think so far?
Whoa. That was not where I thought it was gonna go.
Where'd you think it was going to go?
With the way the atmosphere was and what was going on, I don't know why, but my brain went, they're in limbo. They have died. Because there were absolutely no bodies there aside from their own. It was like, they just died, I think.
Sorry for making me thirsty.
So, yeah. That was interesting.
Still organic?
Well, considering the fact that I thought they died, it works. I still like it. I don't know if you intended to make people think they died, but yeah, sure. So yeah, the story went from normal story to kind of referencing one creepypasta to Goosebumps to a different creepypasta which actually I do know the name of. It's graduation night at Disney. To holy crap, everybody died. To oh wait, no they didn't. Okay, we're good. So yeah, this is has some very interesting turns.
It's a roller coaster.
It kind of. Kinda.
All right, next scene.
Woo!
Winifred leaned back in her chair and let out a happy sigh as she patted her belly. Ah, that was perfect. Charlie followed suit. Oh, I'm so stuffed. Do you two feel bleh. Do you two feel better? Mr. Powers asked as he held a coffee mug in his hands. Much, Winifred sighed. Charlie simply nodded with a hum. You really are a nice guy, he finally said. I try to be, Mr. Powers replied. It's already hard enough on revenants to fit in with human society. Winifred perked up and Charlie leaned forward. What was that? Isn't it obvious? He asked. But you have lips. No nose, he chuckled, pointing to the nasal cavity that had somehow been overlooked. So you are a monster, Winifred squeaked. I suppose that is commonly what humans would call my kind, Mr. Powers sighed. In these modern times, it's hard to keep separate. Human society evolves over time, and that's something that eventually has to happen to my kind as well. Some of us are willing to take that step. However, those that do not, and the residual memories of my kind on humankind, well, let's just say it makes it a lot harder to move forward. So, that's why you don't come out much? Charlie asked. He simply gave a nod. He pushed himself back and stood up. We should get going. Charlie gasped. Oh my goodness, you're right! Winifred, we need to get home! Mom and Dad are going to be so mad! I think they'll understand, Mr. Powers said. Our parents are a little strict, Winifred pointed out to him. I'm sure they'll understand, he repeated. Are you going to tell them what happened? Charlie asked. They may go easy on us if you back up our story. They won't believe us if you don't, Winifred added. Come along, Mr. Powers offered. The lights will go off soon, and the valley will be very dark. That was enough for them. They followed him through the dwindling crowd. Booths were closing up, and rides were beginning to shut down after the last of the queues had had their turns. Soon enough, the gravel road was once again visible, and they made their way up to the main road and the safety of the sidewalk once more. Ugh, itchy. Cedar or oak? Charlie suddenly asked. What? From Winifred. Mr. Powers simply turned to look at him. Autumn time smells so good because the fireplaces are going. It makes the town smell like cedar or oak. It's pine, Mr. Powers corrected. Doesn't smell like the dark folly fir, the boy said. It's not the same consistency. Actual logs give off a somewhat different smell than painted boards. Boards? Winifred perked. For someone without a nose, you sure seem to know your smells. He stopped. The siblings weren't expecting that and bumped into him like a small accordion. They stammered their apologies, but he gave no acknowledgement of them. He lifted his left arm and pointed to the valley below. Their eyes followed, and they realized that something was off about the carnival. It was horrible. It looked nothing like it did when they were there. Yes, there were lots of people. Yes, there were many loud noises and flashing lights. However, it wasn't the rides or the game booths. What happened? Winifred breathed. What's going on? Charlie added. Slowly, Mr. Powers looked over his shoulder at them. After a moment, he turned and stepped between them. Shoddy maintenance, he said. Cutting corners isn't cheap if there's such a great risk. What are you talking about? Charlie demanded. The carnival has been closed for a couple of hours, he explained. That can't be. We were just there. Yeah, we saw it, Winifred confirmed. The man took a deep inhale and let it out in a long and slow manner. This wasn't easy. It never was. I'll be blunt with you, he said. There's no point pussyfooting about with matters such as these. What matters? Winifred asked. If you know something, spill it, Charlie demanded. The smell is the pine used to build the fun house and the haunted adventure, he said simply. Everyone was evacuated as the fire spread quickly between the two buildings. What? The siblings gasped. There were a few injuries, but most survived. It was lucky for them. What about Mike and James? Charlie asked frantically. They're fine, Mr. Powers assured. I had said that already. They were very lucky to have made it out just in time. He looked back and forth between the two children. Not everyone was so lucky. What are you talking about? Winifred asked. Stringing us along like this is not blunt, Mr. Powers, Charlie yelled. You're dead, kid, he spat. Don't you get it? You two walked right into that fire. That can't be, Charlie cried out. You pulled us out, Winifred reminded. I retrieved a part of you, he stated. Have you not noticed that your friends never came to check on you? Charlie paused and tried to make some sort of sense of the matter. Didn't they tell anyone we were still inside? They did, he affirmed. Nobody could get in. I could. Fire. It means nothing to me. I cannot die that easily. Not a person of my kind, even so, not one of my rank. Dead? Winifred whimpered. Realization slowly seemed to dawn on her. Tears began to well up in her eyes. Why? Why didn't you come in sooner? Charlie demanded. Despite the growing rage in the boy, Mr. Powers remained calm but stern. It was your time, he finally said. There was a slight chance that you would be spared. However, it just seemed so evident. I knew it was coming. I just know these things. So I prepared for it. Now you're here. You knew? Winifred screamed. You knew and you didn't warn us? You didn't help us? You monster! No wonder humans don't like you. You're horrible and evil. I'm not evil, Mr. Powers growled. Those of my rank are not required to prevent the inevitable. What rank are you talking about? Charlie yelled. Reaper, boy! Have you not figured that out? I am a Reaper. I am a member of the Royal Order of Collections, and you have been collected. He took a few deep breaths to calm himself. The siblings were holding on to each other. Of course, he had frightened them. I didn't choose you, he assured. Everyone has a time. If you are lucky enough to escape the inevitable, I don't dislike you. You two seem like a couple of nice kids. It's unfortunate that it must be this way, but that's how it is. Human beings die. They have such fragile bodies, fragile works. It's so easy for a human's light to come to an end and become nothing but a glimmer. But you needn't worry. The pain is over, and the shock will eventually subside. I'm sure a better place awaits you. A bliss reserved for good souls, where the pains and rigors of life can never touch you again. Winifred and Charlie tried several times to find something to say. Nothing seemed to form. There were so many things they wanted to say, and yet could not find the words to do so. Mr. Powers simply waited patiently as they struggled. It wasn't until he could see the defeat in their eyes that he felt comfortable speaking again. We should go. Can't we even say goodbye? Winifred whimpered. Time for that has passed. Making you visible again would only cause everyone more pain. Then let us become like you, Charlie pleaded. That is not possible. You lie! It is my prerogative to decide one. It is my prerogative to decide one's worth and readiness to take up such a decision. It is not one that should be taken lightly. Did you not hear me when I told you how humankind reacts to evidence? You would be you, but those who once loved you could very well turn on you when you become the interpretation of a monster. You have no purpose, and your existence would cause you far more trouble than it's worth. His face softened as he looked at those desperate faces. I understand how you feel. It's never easy. Your life would never be the same again if I granted your wish irresponsibly. Cedar Falls is not ready to share its streets with the likes of Revenants. Perhaps someday, but that is not now. You cannot handle the burden of being one of my kind, and it would be cruel of me to let you haunt these grounds so aimlessly as the world passes you by and leaves you stranded. And I'm offering you your peace and your contentment. How can we trust you now? Charlie asked stubbornly. This is all your fault. The fault is not mine, he insisted. I am simply the messenger and the collector. I lead you into the realm beyond your death, so you do not wander in despair forever in that place. I lead you to an end. I lead you to an end to your suffering, so you no longer feel the haunt of your pain and suffering so endlessly in that place. You may see me as a monster, but I am a necessity, and one that no one can escape. One becomes, one serves beneath, or one joins the ranks. Even then, there is a chance of being reaped, and your soul strung upon a reaper's thread. I am saving you your troubles, and in time, you shall know no differently as you exist in the bubble that you have earned for yourselves, your forever, your infinity. Do you understand? No, Charlie replied simply. Winifred shook her head as well. But, he continued, there's no way to argue ourselves out of this, is there? I'm afraid not. It hurts, Winifred whispered, as she wiped the tears from her face with her arm. It will get worse the longer you fight it. I'm scared. It was then that Charlie let out a heavy sigh. He offered his hand and grew a thoughtful smile. It'll be okay, Winifred. I'll go with you. You don't have to go through anything by yourself. She studied his face and slowly gripped her hand in his. Promise? Promise you won't leave me alone? I promise, he assured. He looked at Mr. Powers. I can do that, can't I? Now Mr. Powers grew a thoughtful smile. Indeed. That is a promise you can keep. I will see to that. Now, let's go home. The siblings nodded to each other in confirmation. Hand in hand, they walked with Mr. Powers into the night and into whatever awaited them in the afterlife ahead. The end!
Freaking called it! Freaking called it! Like, you got them wandering around and there's no humans at all. It's like, they freaking died.
So what do you think of that story?
I like it.
It all came across natural.
Yeah.
It didn't come off weird.
Well, the only weird is the part that it's supposed to be weird. Like, it didn't come off clunky or anything, no.
Good. That's what I was worried about. I'm like, this just sounds like I'm just running it into the fucking ground.
Not really, no. Okay, like I said, when they were wandering around the ride, with, trying to find the way out and not finding any bodies at all, yeah, I kind of figured that they had died because, why aren't there any bodies that used to be there, not there now? But that has more to do with the fact that I've seen so many different, stories and stuff where, yeah.
Yeah. And even then, it wasn't the fact that, oh my God, everyone's gone because they're dead. It's like, no, it's supposed to hit that everyone's evacuated.
Yeah. But you think they would have at least checked the ride, since there was people there. That's why I kind of was like,
I was so worried I would not be able to make this story a good one.
I liked it.
And then I was worried at the end that I had dragged out the ending too much.
Not really. I'm not.
So, yeah, the ending was good then?
I'm not sure what made you think you had dragged it out. Yeah, they were wandering.
Because, instead of like, oh, and then they walked off into the afterlife, pretty much, right then and there. It's like, no, they actually have a dialogue about revenants and reapers and a little bit how it works.
Well, yeah, that and it's not just okay, and because they didn't even know they were dead at first. He was just talking to them, and they're like, "Yeah, my mom's gonna have a freak out." Blah blah. I was like, "No, you're fine." So it seemed all normal, and then all of a sudden, dude, you're freaking dead. It's like, yep, called it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little too obvious.
Like I said, the only reason why I picked up on it is because the weird and creepy genre is kind of one of my favorites, and so.
Yeah.
So yeah, there might be some people that might pick up on it early, but not because, oh my gosh, you spilled the beans. Just because, there's certain cues and clues that if you.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't want it to come off as like, oh, I wrote a horror story. Oh, but it's not really scary. It's like, well, it's not technically a horror story. It's dark fantasy.
It's not. I mean, yeah, the horror element did help with the cues, but you know what the weird part of that is?
Huh.
I don't know. It's like it's familiar, but it's not. It's like part of it kind of sort of reminds me of Goosebumps. Not Goosebumps, but Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that because I still love Are You Afraid of the Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then well, I thought it was cool. I'm trying to think exactly where I was going with that, but my brain just went. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I was so worried about it. I'm like, oh my God, it's probably not gonna be very good. And then when I got to the end, like, I think my thing was because it'll be the first. It will be the first thing in the Revenant series to be published. That I don't know. It's like I wanted to kind of set up some of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because, like, on the one hand, like I said, it kind of reminds me of. It kind of feels like it could sort of fit as an Eye for the Dark Tale, but on the more less on the creepy side, but more on the because they would have some stories that were not really focused on the horror aspect, but just kind of eerie and sweet in a weird sort of way.
Yeah.
So on one hand, it feels like it could fit into that, but it also feels like it's mixed a little bit with that story, only less depressing. So, yeah. Yeah, that's yeah.
Cool. And without doing anything to it, it was 99 pages.
Wow.
So actually, I am thinking maybe I will publish this.
What is like a novella?
Yeah, like it's still gonna be in Revenant Tales,
Right.
but because it's long enough,
It could also be its own thing and kind of stand
yeah.
on its own. Yeah, it could.
I'm actually seeing how long it is if I broke it up into chapters.
God. Let's see here.
Where the hell?
Let's see.
And as usual, it fucks up halfway through. I did indent all the paragraphs.
Yeah, because even the Goosebumps are 100 and, at least the one I'm looking at now is 123. And that's a. So, yeah. That could stand on its own. I could see that doing that. Do.
Now I'm just seeing how the format is going to look. I have to do it in the other one too, so.
Mm.
Yeah, I was really worried how it would turn out, what the reception of it would be.
It's just fine.
But you know me, I'm always worried. Like, oh my god, what if it sucked?
Yeah, but you know us artist types, we always worry more
Yeah.
about.
That's why I have a group. Like, if you leave it to me, I'll be like, oh my god, it fucking sucks.
Well, I really liked it, so there.
I might try to read it to the boys tomorrow.
Ooh. Which boys? I know you said. I know you was wanting to read it.
Arachne and Sarius.
Ooh.
That's one thing I hate about this whole thing. It's like, it's really, really inconvenient to have to do this twice.
Oh, the story isn't that bad. I liked it.
That's good.
Why didn't you try and Arachne? Is he asleep or something?
No, I didn't check to see if he was up or not.
Sarius was busy, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, banana. And the thingy, I think, disappeared. Oh well.
Huh?
Oh, the
Oh, the chat thing.
yeah.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
Oh well.
Let's see.
I'll go ahead and stop my thing then, since it's not